Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
And a very good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on YouTube, but we're also wherever you get your podcasts. Today, Jasmine, Matt with you here, and joining us once again, it is Doug McLean back in the Hangout. How you doing today, Doug?
Good, Matt. How are you?
I'm great.
Good morning.
Well, we have the EST flyaway to LA to get to on the show today. Lots to discuss with the Oilers and sports, but my Instagram got hacked today. Now, I don't know how we go fully into this, but we believe it might be Jasmine's fault.
No, we just came up with something. Well, anyways, you go ahead.
Reed Wilkins already in the nasty chat. OMG, Doug McLean. So he's pretty pumped. I got multiple. I woke up to a bunch of texts saying my Instagram account was hacked. Apparently, I turned $7,000 into $100K in crypto.
Nicely done, Matt.
Thank you.
I know.
What are you doing here?
I know. I'm here to share my secrets with the world because I'm doing it on Instagram. Might as well share it to everyone. Yeah, I did really well,
done.
and I had apparently a coach, and I'm linking you to my coach who will help you turn 7,000 in 100K. I think my buddy said I did it in 7 days.
Wow.
Oh, just 7?
Just 7 days.
And the
That's all
coach
it's
can
gonna
make
take.
me do it in 5, maybe?
I
6-ish?
Wait, is 7 too long for you, Doug?
Hey,
Is 100K in 7 days
why
too
wait?
much?
Why wait?
So yeah, and apparently Instagram doesn't have any sort of support or chat or people to talk with.
Oh.
They make it impossible almost to get your account back. They have a thing that says, is your account hacked? You click it and they go, well, we'll send you a code.
Sorry.
And then, well, they go we'll send you a code. And then do you know how they show you your number, but they don't show all of it?
Yeah.
They're all my stuff. So I click send code. Nothing comes.
Oh.
So there's also a WhatsApp option. I click that. Nothing comes. There's also an email option. I click that. Nothing comes. It's great. So I found some sort of media email address, press@facebook.com or something like that. So I've messaged them being like, hey, I'm a sports radio host. Can you do something for me? If not, it sounds like you have to join Meta Verified. You have to be Meta Verified, which costs money.
Which isn't too bad because
Yes.
he gets that little blue mark
Yeah,
beside
but
his name.
It's $19 a month.
It's cool. Looks cool.
But why do you have
it's
to do that
official.
to get your account back?
Because then you could talk to a rep. They actually give you support if you're verified.
Okay.
So you could then talk to somebody because they tried to get into my Facebook too, but they didn't get into Facebook.
Yeah.
So I could do it through my Facebook. They must have unlinked my Instagram from my Facebook because they were always linked.
Yeah.
And then I could be like, hey, that's my account. Get it back for me. And then they get it back for me apparently or something like that.
But if
They
you
don't make it
$19
easy.
a month, then you're...
But I have to give them, but then I could cancel, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's just for 1 month.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm giving them
Yeah.
$19 to get my own account back.
Yeah.
When they don't have it, they could just give it back to me. Or send your damn code, make your things
Yeah.
work. Which comes to a conspiracy that because Eric's wife had an issue where she lost her Facebook though. And she couldn't even get on to verify her Facebook because that was all gone. Facebook, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg hires hackers to hack into our accounts to force us to go pay for verified to get more money out of us.
Maybe it's just a bunch of nerds.
No, they are nerds paid for by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Because last week I went on to go do something with EST Facebook, so I go through my Facebook, and all of a sudden it popped up saying, hey, you should learn more about verification. And then a week later I get my account hacked, and they're telling me I got to get verified to get my account back.
I've heard crazier conspiracies than that.
I'm blaming Mark Zuckerberg. But now Jasmine comes in today, and what did you do yesterday?
So there was some funny reel, some sports related reel that I sent to Tommy, to Reed, to LT, to a bunch of these guys. And I never DM Maddie on IG because he doesn't go on IG. There's no point.
I do go to DMs though sometimes.
All right.
That's the only way people got a hold of me on IG.
Okay, well, so I sent the reel to Maddie for the first time. And then this morning I hear Will guys talking about it, that he got hacked. So it was the first time I ever sent Maddie something. But then I panicked. Thought it was affecting my account, and I looked, and I was all right.
You're all right.
Yeah,
You haven't made
I haven't made
100
100
yet?
G's, no.
Jeez, what's going on?
Yeah.
Plausible. Interesting. You sent something and your account's all good, but
It's
mine
weird.
isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Sure. I don't trust you. Jasmine, and actually Eric made the comment that it was because I haven't given you a hat.
Exactly. It's hostage right now, your
That's
account.
right.
Yeah.
Spency 5 centsy. Maybe Dusty hired the hacker. Oh. I did call out Dusty saying I'm the captain of the ship now with EST. He hasn't been here for a while.
Well, there you go. So there's
So maybe Dusty was getting some revenge for that one. But do not get your Instagram account hacked. And for Facebook, I highly recommend the 2-tier factor sign-in thing because that's what saved me today.
oh, because then you
They had a text on my phone from
Yeah.
Facebook this morning with my code, and so they didn't get that. But I don't think you could do that with Insta unless you're verified on Insta. And most people can't get verified on Insta.
You know, the thing with Facebook is, like, I don't have it, but it'd be so cringe if that got hacked because all your like high school friends or whatever back when, you know, Facebook was created would be like, what the hell is this guy up to?
Yeah, making $100,000 in 7 days.
Like,
Man, Matt's done really well for himself since high school.
How do I do this?
There's a flexing on Facebook. Like, get out of here.
Who's his coach?
Oh, look at this, Brent. I got to get in with Brent. Yeah, it's if you want $100,000, get in the nasty chat. Give me your password, and I will help you. So yeah, that's how my morning's been. How's your guys' morning been?
I knew what I was walking into. I'm just saying. I was prepared for Maddie's mood today.
Oh, I'm fine. Like I don't use Insta. Like I honestly only just go in the DMs because I have a couple DM groups, which I'm sad I'm now not a part of, possibly.
Aw.
So
What?
still, yeah, well.
Well, if I lose my account,
then you gotta
then it's
start
now because
over,
now.
and
Well,
then-
the thing that's going through my mind though is like if it wasn't for those DMs, I'd be like, okay, screw it. I'm just not gonna. My Instagram account's gone.
Just gone.
I'm good. I'm fine. Whatever. But now it's like, do I get in just to get back into these DMs, or do I just?
Yes.
I'm
just
done.
Pay the $20.
Maybe I don't want Insta anymore.
What is this, like a life? Like,
Well,
So yeah, it's more philosophical conversation.
Really pushing for this $20 to be spent. Interesting.
I don't know. Don't you buy coffee every day
just-
from Starbucks, Mr.
No,
Hoity-toity?
I made my own coffee today.
Okay. Well, you do go to
Starbucks
Starbucks.
coffee still.
That's fine. That's 4 Starbucks or maybe 3.
Yeah, but it's just interesting that you sent me a DM yesterday. Now you're forced, like, pushing on me
Give me
to
the hat,
spend this
Maddie.
20. What are you, Mark Zuckerberg, up to?
I want vengeance for my hat. It's November.
Well, now I can't afford the
season.
hat. Well, actually, I can afford a lot of hats, apparently. So, yeah, that's Instagram.
So how are you?
I'm good. I'm okay.
You're not hacked?
No, although I was supposed to have an interview for a thing I do for some of the international sport work I'm doing. And we had some Teams issues this morning. So
Oh.
I don't think we got hacked or anything, but the candidate couldn't log on. So minor issue too on the Microsoft
great.
Could be
side.
that
So
day.
Who knows? Maybe it's
Technology is
just
just wonderful. It's great.
who knows?
Actually, I did sign up for a Blue Sky account.
So when you talked about it, I did too, just to make sure I get my name.
It
Did you
looks,
do that? Like,
Well, my name's I did because I do want my account, but at the well now today especially a good thing I did it because who knows what these hackers are going to try to do. No one's going to get my name. There's not many Matthew Owonics out
Yeah.
there, so I'm pretty good. Doug McLean.
Doug McLean's a little, yeah.
It's actually like the interface is very Twitter like.
yeah, it is.
It's
I went on there
they've
quickly,
replicated it pretty well. It looked like, and it doesn't look too bad.
So it's supposed to be like positive Twitter or something?
Is that
I
the
don't-
story? Yeah.
It's non-Elon Musk Twitter.
I see.
Oh.
So
That might inherently make it more positive, but
yeah, and then I guess they've done they still have some of the features that Twitter had that got rid of. Like you could still see people's likes. You can still block people and you're blocked fully. And there's just various things like that, I guess. So
is this former Twitter people that are doing this? Is that the? I can't remember the story. With
and
this.
that's what
So I'm
I always
curious.
thought. But it was Jack Dorsey who sold Twitter, was part of a creator to Elon Musk. He was on their board.
Right.
But then he bolted their board back in like March or something and endorsed Twitter again beyond Elon Musk. So if you're upset with Jack Dorsey, which is I'm upset with Jack Dorsey for things he's done with Twitter, I was like, I'll never go on Blue Sky. And then I didn't know he was off the board, but he's off the board. So it's like its own people
okay.
that are now building this. So it's
Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. Do you go on X or Twitter often?
You know what? Honestly, I use it. I don't use it as much as anymore. I've actually blocked it on my laptop because I just don't. It just isn't that interesting. But it's mostly for like news and sports info.
Honestly,
That's
same
all
thing.
I get.
Yeah.
And so like, I mean, it's not all I get. So you try to like, filter through all the other garbage.
And
But
that's the thing. It's just like, I don't know about you guys or what's my like, what's up with my Twitter, but man, I have so much toxic stuff on it that it's just, and then I sometimes can't help myself. I'll have to share it because it's just so ridiculous. Because it's so dumb. And then it sparks a conversation in my group chats, which is so unnecessary. And I'm like, it's like seeping into me. I'm like, screw this.
That's the one thing about Blue Sky I found. It's just a fresh start.
well, that's the thing. So how long
new.
does it last before it peters off into?
It's a good question. They are seeing a huge increase right now.
Okay.
They've gone to 15 million users this past
quickly.
week.
Yeah.
But it's one like, I don't know, just starting my followers from scratch and all that for my algorithm from scratch.
True that.
Apparently
That's
they have
true.
something in there with the algorithm. Like you could adjust your algorithm or something on its own. I don't know how that fully works.
So once you sign up, it'll ask you questions about what you want.
Okay.
And then it tells, it gives you like a little, it's like once you begin, it's like, okay, we'll start liking stuff so we can know what you
care about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it says on Blue Sky, people can build their own algorithm and share them with others. So you can, and so I think you can go and you can change your algorithm and stuff. And right off the start, like I didn't click any of those topics because I want my algorithm to be almost virtually clean to start. And it says the algorithm will get created when I follow, I think it was 7 accounts and like 10 posts.
So at least has something.
Then it knows to build off of.
Okay.
So I haven't liked anything yet because I'm like, well, I gotta crush these 10. I gotta get a good 10
That's
likes
right.
in to build this algorithm. But I don't know, just starting a social media account from scratch. I didn't think I'd like it, but I think I might because I could curate it a little bit more. And also, I haven't on Twitter for probably a good year or so. I haven't really been as political as I used to be, like with my thoughts. I almost feel like I'm gonna make 2 accounts. Like there's my personal Blue Sky account, but then EST Blue Sky account, which is or like Matt Blue EST, which is sports. If you want my sports and all of that, I'll do it from there. And then no one can be like, stick to sports. If you want me to stick to sports, there's the account. But if you want me to do anything, if I want anything else, it's going to be here.
No, I don't like that. I want like that person to show their personality. I want to see it all in one account.
But it's a business thing.
Fair enough.
That's what it comes down to. And because I understand, I do personally understand that there's some people that they want to just see things that are going on EST or the sports stuff, and they go and if they're following me, they don't care what I think about last Tuesday. But I
hear
do.
what you're
For
both
some
saying,
people,
though.
I do understand. For some, like I understand that there are some that it's not that they disagree with you. They just like I just want sports, and I do get that. And with EST, that I get, they just want to see what's coming up on the Hangout or things like that.
But you're right though. Like it is interesting to sort of see the broad. I mean, it's a person's personality to some degree that you're getting, and it's just have that whole picture.
Yeah. Your personality. Like, I would like to see exactly what you just said. I would like to see the whole picture. I would like to see you as a person that I'm watching or listening to, your personality as well, not just your sports
Or
face,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
I contemplated too on Instagram to be like, should I separate like my life and just like EST?
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's no fun.
Yeah, because it's all it's all part of who you are.
Yeah,
so,
I'm not exactly.
But I
I'm
hear
like,
what you're saying too. Like I think that, I mean, not that sports. I mean, not that you can only be a sports person. You can only be a politics news person. But I can sort of see the.
It would make it less divisive. In a sense.
I think that's
for, like
fair. That's-
like
that's a good way
one
to
is
put it.
it's with my account it could be more divisive because we're getting into those. But if it's just sports, we could just forget the politics. Was it in that first date? You're not supposed to do politics, religion. And
Yeah, fair enough.
Like that type of thing. But if you want that, like it's still you could come see it. It's all over here. There'll be very much like there's 2 accounts. But if you just want to see sports stuff, if you want my thoughts on McDavid scored 1,000 points, awesome, cool. You get that. I don't know what it would be called. It's not a tweet. Blue Sky. So sunshine?
Yeah,
Or
what
like-
is it?
I mean,
it's so new
send
to
out
me.
a ray?
Yeah.
A message.
A
that too
message? A post? I don't know what they would do.
I think like what about the time consumption too to like switch accounts and blah blah blah. Like, I think that would be annoying as well.
How many social accounts do you have right now?
I honestly think I have X and IG.
Okay, so it's 2. So there's a third.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't get like I'm not saying I'm leaving Twitter. I'll say that right now. It's not something like I'm not gonna be one of those people too that goes on Twitter and be like, I'm leaving. Like I don't care. Like if I understand.
Until I hack it.
Yes. Then he'll be gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a different. I don't know. I didn't know if I would ever go to another one, but I'll check this one. Like when did any of you jump on Threads?
No, I never did.
No, I have it again just to put my name in there, but yeah.
I grabbed it partly because there was a number. You could get a number of how many, like what number you were signing up for Threads, and I just wanted to know what my number was. I looked at it and I went, "This isn't gonna last."
I didn't see that.
Is anyone on it now? Like
People go on it.
Okay.
I still think I do have it on my phone. Yeah, there it is on my phone. So I do have it. I just, I've been logged out. We'll see if I can log. Oh, I got to log in through. Oh yeah, well I don't have my Insta because it's connected through your Insta. But like, okay, but I just don't think anyone used it.
Because I know, like, when it came out, everyone, like, I remember all the hockey insider guys were all jumping on it. Hey, I'm on Threads now. I'm on Threads now. So, like, were they running around posting like, everything just duplicated? Is that what they were doing?
I think some people would.
Yeah, because they're obviously not linked.
I think some
so
people, like,
can't-
from what I gather with Blue Sky, because I followed like 4 people, maybe 3 people. I could see different posts that they're doing right away. So they're going one, posting one thing, going to the other, and posting other things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like
time.
it would be, and that's where I know you could, like, businesses, they can pay for like the services where you could post on everything at once or something like that. I don't think most people would do that. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I don't have it on my phone yet. I don't know if I will. I'll see how it plays out. But the idea of starting it from complete scratch
that's an
is
interesting
just the algorithm, everything. I just find it interesting.
Don't you feel so honored that you got hacked? Somebody cared.
No, new
Look
dawn.
at me.
You know what's funny? I don't.
Yeah.
Because one of my cousins texted me today, and he goes, "You're the 3rd friend in the last week to do so." Because he said your Instagram was hacked, and I said, "What? You don't think I made 100K in a few days?" Like, thanks for the faith.
Yeah.
Thanks for the faith, cuz. And he said I'd be the 3rd person in the last few weeks. So, like, I think a lot of people are getting hacked right now. So I'm not even special.
At least if you're getting hacked,
I had so many jokes. But yeah,
You're just off.
Go with one. Come on, you're the one that caused all this.
no. So McDavid 1,000 points.
Wow. Just dismissive right
Is he
there.
on Blue Sky?
Yeah.
Is he even on
social
Twitter?
media? Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone
is.
else runs his accounts.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, someone does for sure.
Does he still have his Twitter?
I don't know. I know
Connor
he's on
McDavid.
I know he's on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm
but-
following him. What was his last post?
probably
March 8th, he retweeted a BetMGM post.
I was just gonna say that. I swear I was gonna be probably to do
January 10th, he quote tweeted the Oilers going, "Get your votes in, #NHL All-Star vote." So
he's really active then.
very active. His social, there's and then the one before that was August of last year when Jeff Jackson got hired, and he posted something about Jeff Jackson. So he doesn't even have his people do anything with it.
Yeah.
I think he's more active on IG. I can't.
I think so.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know
Yeah.
anymore. I'm too busy making my money.
Oh, yeah.
Is he on IG a lot? I feel like you would know.
McDavid?
Yeah.
Hell no. That
Like
guy will
stories or
post-
anything?
He will, but he'll like repost like other like Lauren's, for example, or it'll be like whatever his like aloe or like
it's all
whatever
those-
his sponsors
yeah.
are. So you could tell it's probably
Yeah.
not him.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, see, Big Uke, one of my buddies had the same hack this weekend. I'm not special.
Oh, big uke. Cut it out. Okay.
Oilers, Preds, tonight, 7, GCLT's Oil Stream pregame show. Tommy Hernan, 6 o'clock right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. How soon does 1,000 get hit?
Today.
Well, today.
Well, no, but how soon in the game? It's happening today.
Tommy said 5 minutes
yeah,
in.
and I kind of
Yeah.
agree with that. I think that's what'll happen. Just get
wild.
it over with. I
Yeah.
mean, who knows? I mean,
It'll be obviously McDavid to dry, right? The mayor of Nashville.
Oh,
yeah. They get him on it. Well,
power play marker?
have to be.
Yeah. I mean, we had a good PK last game finally, right?
They didn't get scored on, so that's an improvement. Mild,
Yep.
as it is.
What do you think?
I think it happens. I think it happens tonight, but I don't think it happens as quickly as
Yeah,
people
I don't think so either.
'Cause I don't know,
Knowing
like-
them. They get too, like, the Oilers get too hyper about stuff like this, right? They're like,
that's true.
they're going to be
I'm
sending
not
them
sure.
passes and all that. It's just not going to happen because they're just too jittery about it. And
Well,
then later in the game when they calm down.
I could also see, like, I was there, luckily enough, to be one of the very few people when he got his 100 point in 53 games or whatever it was during the bubble when no one was allowed in that rink.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, that was a ridiculous night, hat trick or whatever. It was a ridiculous game. He did it early too, almost throughout the game. He got his points and he got his 100th point. It was crazy. We've seen that happen a lot, but I just feel like I think he's good no matter what, whether he gets it today or not. So I don't think they need to rush this because if he doesn't get it today, there's a lot of talk of would he like to do it in Toronto, in home,
I don't think
with
he cares
family
either.
there. So like I think like either way, he's getting it over the next 2 games. So I don't think they have to worry about getting it to him because either way he wins.
Well, the thing is, he's
sense.
feeling it too, right? Like got 7 points in his last 2 games. I mean, he's feeling it. And he said it the other day. He said, it's just one of those games you don't want to come off the ice. And when he gets into that kind of mode, he might just do it himself. Like forget everyone trying to, you're right, because
Legit.
everyone trying to feed him. I mean, he may just figure, screw it, I'm just going to do this myself and just get this over with. So I think it happens tonight. I don't think he's waiting until Saturday.
I don't think he's waiting until Saturday either. You're tripping.
I'm not saying he's waiting until
He's doing it
Saturday,
with the home-
but I
the
don't think
crowd
they're going to
here.
feed him immediately. Like I don't think
Yeah,
that's the mindset is we have to get this done or we have to get it done before they go on the road trip because they want to do it at home. I think with where the first road game is, he'd be happy with getting it at home.
But I'm not sure these guys, I know they're aware of it. I don't think they think like that. I don't think you're on the ice thinking, oh my God, I got to get the puck to McDavid because we got to get his thousands.
You don't think so?
I really don't.
Because I
just
disagree
don't
because I
think
see
that's how
whenever
they
we see
think.
players get close to that milestone, we all of a sudden see them get the puck more. Like the players pass them. Like when Hyman was
But are
going
we paying
for
attention
50.
to it more?
Oh, that's a good point.
I just don't know in the way a game moves. I just don't think that's how you think. I'm not saying they're not aware of it. Of course they're aware of it, and they'll be super happy when he gets it. But
They have to be aware of it because once it scores,
yeah.
somebody's got to grab that puck.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
somebody's
so
always going to grab that
They're
puck.
aware of it. There's no look, Noah Philp gets his first point a couple weeks ago, and was it Perry that grabbed the puck right away? These guys are aware of this stuff. I'm just not sure that it changes how they play. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I've never played at that level, so I have no idea. But I'm not sure it does.
They're still human. I know we make fun of them for not having a personality, but they still have a little bit of an ego. They're still
that's
gonna
true,
go for
sure.
it. Yeah.
No, that's true. But I think he'll get it tonight.
When we were talking about ticket prices for tonight, I don't know if Are You Nasty's going. What's it look like? Because I checked yesterday and they were about in the $85 range to go. So I wonder if prices are up. And
They are up because I sold mine. I was telling these two before, like I can't go tonight, and so I sold them. I get early this season, it has not been easy to sell them. Let's just put it that way. So I was like, I just need to get rid of these. And again, I made basically face value roughly for them. But then, of course, he gets his 4 points the other day, and then they shoot up about $30 a seat. Mine are the least expensive in the building, so they're generally easier to sell. But
Ticketmaster right now, just verified resale, because there are still some, I think, regular tickets.
well, that's interesting too, because if they haven't fully, because those are often less than the resale ones.
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of tickets in the upper bowl, a little bit in the lower bowl. So there are still tickets for tonight if you go through Ticketmaster. If you go through Ticketmaster verified resale, not $97.60, 97 bucks. And then it jumps to 106, 108, 19, 111. So it's just over 110 bucks, I'll say, is where it starts for verified resale, and then starts going up from there. When it comes to just Ticketmaster pricing, it starts at 105 bucks.
Yeah.
So right there.
So would you pay like the 1,000-point tax to go watch today? Because it's gonna be. I feel like there's gonna be more records to be broken.
If I could go to it, it'd be fun to be there. I mean, again, I grew up in the Gretzky era, and so you start to add these little things that you get to see over the course of time. But I mean, I can't go, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I don't know if I didn't have tickets, would I pay? I'm not sure I would.
Right? I thought about this.
I think there's other bigger. To me, there's bigger stuff at some point that you're trying to get to. That
I don't think we're going to remember his 1,000th point. That's a
Right?
big thing.
Yes.
Like the 100 points and 53 was a big deal. Him scoring 50. Like when there's those bigger milestones, I think you remember those. It's going to be closer to, I think 2,000 would be a bigger number. Can he get to 2,000?
Can he?
I think he can.
he
We're
can.
actually having this
Yeah.
discussion off air a couple days ago. Hernan was
That's
against him.
wild.
Well, so he's going to be 28 in January. So let's say 28. So let's say he plays another 10 years, takes him to 38.
yeah.
Okay, so he needs 1,000 points
Okay.
in 9.5 seasons.
Yeah, that's actually when you look at it like that, it's
not
like a
impossible.
no-brainer.
So that's
Yeah.
105 point average. So the question is, through the first 5 years, can he be in the 120 to 130 range year in and year out?
And then
And then he could have the drop offs a little bit. And then he doesn't need to go get 100 anymore. He could be at the 80, 70 mark type thing for a couple of years if there's ever a drop off. And then if he's within, let's say, 100 points by the time he's 38, guy's playing till he's 40.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the difference now is, I mean, like take the Gordie Howe out of the equation because he was a complete anomaly. But, I mean, these guys are playing for a long time because of nutrition, how well they take care of themselves. And not to say, I mean, look, the guys in the 80s and 70s took care of themselves to a point, but not anywhere near to the degree that these guys do now. Right?
Well, they didn't have the sports science to know how to take care of themselves as they do now.
You know, and so like what's Sid at? He's about 1,600 points. I mean, I know he lost a ton of games due to injuries, so he's not getting to 2,000. But if you use Crosby as the rough comparison in terms of the level of consistency, I see no reason why you're not going to see the same level of consistency on a per game basis from McDavid that you have from Crosby.
Crosby's 37.
Yeah.
And he's at 1,613.
Yeah, so he's just over
1,613. So he's just under 400 away.
But the consistency year to year, even the years where he was banged up, I mean, he's just steady, and I see no reason why McDavid isn't. So to your point, I think you're bang on what's likely barring major injuries. I think how you described it is probably how he gets there.
Well, it's Crosby, a couple knocks that would go against him on the injuries that you pointed out. Has missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
And played, hockey has now seen even more scoring. Like 10 years ago, how many guys were scoring 100 points?
No, that's right.
And that, like last year, how many people scored 100 points? Nuge got 100 points just a couple of years ago. So like the game has grown. And I don't think we're going to ever go back to full defensive hockey. I don't think the execs of the NHL would ever want to see that because then you can't sell that. The NBA has gone to a 3-point game, which is for many very exciting. For traditionalists, maybe not as exciting.
Yeah,
but
like me, but yeah, that's another story.
But to get casual fans, it's exciting.
Yeah.
NFL has seen the offense really boom, more of that CFL style that used to be type thing. When it comes baseball, shorting games, but we've seen it back to a couple years ago. There's the talk they're juicing balls because we're seeing the home runs again. Hockey will want to see that often. So McDavid's playing in that era too.
Yep.
Then I don't think we're not getting the clutch and grab and stuff. And Crosby didn't play in the clutch and grab. No. But we've seen just how offense has grown and grown and grown. And so if Crosby's only, 387 points away, and he's still got a few more years left.
Well, that's the thing, right?
McDavid's getting
Yeah,
there.
I think so.
Do you think the Penguins will fire their coach? Side question.
I don't know. I mean, I think I heard someone, I forget who was, interviewed the other day about the Penguins and talking about the fact that they're basically trying to do two things at once. They're trying to do the let's rebuild while we still have the Crosbys, Letangs, and Malkins, while let's restock and try, while we're also trying to compete. I'm like, you can't. It's like in anything. If you have too many priorities, you have no priorities, and I think that's the boat they're in. So I don't know. Do they fire Sullivan? I'm not sure. I doubt it, but. Again, they got to make a decision as to what they want to be. And that's the problem that they're going to face with those three guys because they don't want to go. Like, they're not going anywhere.
Dubas was talking recently. Pat Gregoire in the lock shop yesterday brought it up. I can't remember where he said he was talking or where it was rumored, but I guess like everyone's available from Pittsburgh except for Crosby at this moment. Like, Dubas will listen on anyone if they want to.
Yeah.
I think they tried to build on the fly. I think now they're maybe learning they're not going to be able to. And that's kind of what Kyle Dubas was in, so then he could do a rebuild. But you don't fire the coach then at that point.
No.
Because you'll let him ride out the season, you'll grease him at the end of the season, and then you'll do the process of, okay, let's go find the right coach for this team.
Yeah.
But if in the end if Kyle Dubas wants the rebuild type thing, what better way than to keep losing? Why fire your coach at that point?
That's right.
Don't try to turn things around. Don't try to fix some things. And I would say for Crosby would have had to known this is what he's signing up for.
Oh, I think he did. I don't think he wants to. I think he will retire a Penguin. Yeah. I think he has no interest in going here. Malkin, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think Malkin's got a year left after this, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't. But the problem is like you go and you got $1 million on Carlson who's not playing very well. That's impossible to move. Like that's.
Remember when people wanted him to come to Edmonton?
Like what were like. Anyway,
he had one good year finally, like after a couple of years bad. The amount of people that like you just have to go get him, and now look what has happened with Erik Karlsson. But no, it's Crosby wouldn't have. If Crosby was worried about a rebuild, if Crosby was worried like I don't want to play for that, He wouldn't have signed his
wouldn't have
extension.
signed his- no.
He would, because he could go for agency, or he would have said trade me this year, like type thing, and or whatever. I just don't see him signing. What was it? 2 years? I think he got. So he's got 2 more years there. Maybe in his last year. Maybe in that last year, going into that last season, maybe there's a point of him going, send me to Colorado with McKinnon. But I'm with you. I think now he's won everything.
Yeah.
I can see him just retiring even.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I can see him being the guy that retires a little bit early. I mean, early, he's 37, but I mean, a little bit earlier than you might expect.
Not waiting for the contract to run out, going, 8.7, whatever. I've made my money.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, all the best. Good luck with the rebuild. I'll be here for retirement night. I'll see you whenever you need me. I'm going to go enjoy my life now, away from hockey.
He'll play at the Olympics in Milan Cortina. See what they do there. I mean, is that a swan song? Kind of.
So that's next season, right?
That's next season.
I could say that'd be a great way to end your, sign up, see what happens. If Pittsburgh's in a good spot at that point, maybe come back for one more year. If not, you got your potential Olympic gold. You played with McDavid, you played with McKinnon. Yeah. And now you could be like, my career's done. I've done everything.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, you'll do 4 Nations and in the new year. And yeah, I don't know. To me, I wonder if he's a guy. I mean, you can tell he loves the game. I mean, that's obvious. But I can also see him being a guy that, I mean, a little bit in the vein of 99, just sort of saying, look, I'm going to go out on my own terms and maybe do it a bit early. Who knows? But
and these guys care about legacy.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Pillar to post as a Penguin. Why wouldn't you want that? Why would you want to go chase something else? Like, why go chase another Stanley Cup if you're Sidney Crosby with another team when you have 3?
Yeah.
Like, I know they're competitive and you want to win everything, but you can't fix legacy afterwards. You can't fix that you were a Penguin for the majority of your career, except for the last season, where you joined another team or something like that. Like, if there is something about just being with that one team for your whole career, people want that for McDavid. People would love McDavid and Draisaitl to retire as Edmonton Oilers. And look, for long players, the Oilers have never seen that player go pillar to post. Nuge is on pace to be the first one potentially.
Yeah. Well, that's right. And Pittsburgh, I mean, if you look at their history, they've done a good job in the grand scheme of things, of having massive highs and then they just bottom out and then they find a way to get back and then they're heading back into that bottom out phase again. But really since they drafted Lemieux, I mean, that's what they've been able to do. They won back-to-back cups in 91 and 92 and then, dropped off, had the Fleury pick, the Malkin pick, the Crosby pick. And, obviously that brought them a lot of success again. So maybe this is that next phase for them, which they seem to do very well.
Although it's fun to see Toronto, they're having their issues without Dubas. Dubas isn't exactly having success without Toronto.
No.
And you kind of go like, do you not deserve it? Like, shouldn't you guys just be back together?
Jeffy says in the PJ inbox, I think that right?
Pearstrill's inbox, yeah.
Yeah. Crosby's rookie year was after the lockout when they changed the rules and called twice as many penalties as they do now. That really boosted his rookie numbers.
Yeah, but I mean, that dropped off quickly too. He's right. Totally true. Then they called everything, but that quickly went away. Even come playoff time, that went away to a large degree. So he's totally, and I was thinking about that. He's totally right post lockout. But
and in the end, though, it's like McDavid, Crosby's never touched a point per game average that McDavid's touched. Like McDavid's points per game, some of these seasons that he's having. The year McDavid got 100 points and 50, or what ended up being 103 and 56 or whatever it was. I remember at the start of that year, that was the last time I'll ever doubt McDavid, because the conversation was, could this season he get 100 points? I'm like, absolutely not. I was on 12, so like, there's no chance. I went back since that lockout and went, there's no one who has that point per game average. No one has that point per game average to do that. So no, it's not going to happen. And then lo and behold, McDavid went and did it.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, yeah, Crosby had that, but then we got away from that, as Doug pointed out. And then now the offense is coming back in. But the offense that we're seeing now, I think it's more scoring than we've seen then. It
was a bit of
05, 06. Who would be the top scorers?
So do you think that Crosby will make it to 2,000 points?
I don't.
Oh, no.
No, right?
Yeah. I think he would. I think
300
if he'd been
points?
healthy, it'd be a conversation.
Yeah,
I don't think he
playing
will.
well even. Yeah.
What did we say he was at? 16, 13. So I want to make sure I do my math right here.
I mean, he's having a great year again. Like
So 387. So if he
that's
gets
it's 100 points a year for through the rest of this year, and
he's averaging less than a point per game this year. Oh, by just a single point. So that's 82. Last year he was just above. Like he hasn't hit 100 points, even at a point per game average, since 18-19.
Yeah, he's just been steady. I mean, you're right. He's never been. He hasn't blown the doors off in any one year. He's just been extremely steady. I mean, like he started his career playing with Mario Lemieux. Like Lemieux was still on that roster when he was 05-06. So
05-06, Joe Thornton was the leading point getter, 125 points. Yeah. 7 players hit 100.
Yeah.
Well, last season, so that would have been 22-23, 23-24. Man, my years are off. 23-24. You had here's the one I want.
6 or 7 last year too, weren't there?
Points. Kucherov was the leading porter, 144, and they had 9 at over 100. So one more, I think it was.
Yeah.
But the top end was a lot higher.
Yeah.
The top ends. Kucherov 144, McKinnon 140, McDavid at 132, Panarin at 120.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is you see the top guys have stretched. Somewhat similar to what not to the same degree, but somewhat similar to what you saw in the 80s. With guys that would just blow the doors off. But now you're not necessarily seeing that, even though you're right. There's more guys that are putting up 100 points, but not dramatically more.
2 guys with over 120 points in 05-06, and I think I had 4 guys last year.
Yeah.
So we've just seen that offense. And Crosby had 102 points that year.
Yeah.
So a lot. McDavid last season was, what did I have that as?
What was he? I can't remember now what he was, 120, 130?
Sometimes I'm slow on this. Last year he had 132.
Yeah.
So right there he gained 30 points on Crosby, just in that one season. So like that's where. So that McDavid needs to rattle off those points. He needs to. If we're talking 2000s, these next few seasons in his late 20s, early 2000s, he needs to bank all these points to give him the breathing room for the rest of his days.
Yeah, which I think is reasonable. I mean, it's certainly doable, barring major injury. He can definitely do it.
Stud somewhere. That's not wood.
Yeah.
We will see. It's 1,000 point. But actually, where we got this is like that's where I don't think 1,000's as big of a deal. Like it will be celebrated. It's a great accomplishment.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be electric tonight. Like he does it. People are gonna be really excited.
We're not gonna when his career's over, and the 3 of us come together for a hangout and we go, we're gonna talk about McDavid's career. I don't think the 1,000 point will be the one we're discussing as much.
No,
especially with the fact that we might be talking about 2,000 points.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, good point. Thanks. I won't go tonight then.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you that you answered my question.
Yeah. So
I'm going to try to lower the value so Doug feels better about his selling. We're going to plummet those ticket sales. And then Doug's going to be like, I made more money.
Nice.
Speaking of money, actually,
Doug.
Doug.
Facebook.
Oh, here we go.
Back to the 100K.
Actually, Doug, I got a question for you. So what are your thoughts on like the CHL being allowed to do the NCAA now?
It's a good question. I'm really curious what's going to happen. I don't think it, from the CHL NCAA standpoint, I actually don't think it's going to dramatically change. I think you might see some players moving a little bit more who may start off in the CHL and realize they're not getting a great opportunity and then go and find ways to jump to the NCAA and get hockey and education. Mm-hmm. The top end guys aren't going to, like, it's not as though if you're a projected top 10 pick, you're suddenly going to decide to go and play college. You're not doing that. So it's not, I think it is going to, the U Sports is where that's the big question, I think. Does it impact them a little bit more? Because now the pathway was always play CHL, get your 5 years, have the scholarship, jump to U Sports and get that. And you're seeing more players from U Sports go and play pro overseas. I mean, you've got the Noah Phillips of the world, obviously playing, Derek Ryan's playing in the NHL now too. I do wonder if it starts to change if guys will play CHL and then decide, hey, now I'm going to jump at 18 or 19 and go play at Boston College or Ohio State or whatever I'm going to do, and not not continue through and then play go to the U of A or UNB at 20. That's what I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of us really know how that's going to work, but I think that's where there's maybe a bit of risk is more to the U Sports side. That's my thought. I don't know that it changes things a lot. Certainly at the top end, I don't think that's going to shift things, but you never know.
I'm trying to remember because Guy Flaming was on with Reed and Jay. Was it last week or was it this week? Discussing that. I'm trying to remember what he said. I'll have to go back for that interview.
Have a good sense
and I think he said something with the CHL. It's like you'll get those top end players for a couple of years and then they'll move on potentially. Is that what he said?
But I don't know. But I'm not sure.
Like not for U Sport, for like CHL.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm concerned for U Sport here.
Yeah.
And what does this mean? What is the
I'm not
ramifications?
concerned. I think it'll be an adaptation, but in terms of how they recruit, how they, what they have to do to attract good players. But, and again, to me, it might be the sort of middle tier CHL players that might say, hey, I can get a better opportunity. It's a chance to get an education. Maybe I still get an opportunity to go pro after if I, jump to the NCAA. And now, look, NCAA can now recruit very differently, and they've got money to do it. So that changes the game a little bit for sure. But yeah, the top end players, I think they'll continue to do what they've done.
Well, yeah, some of them, they don't give a damn about education.
Well, that's right.
Duh.
No,
yeah, you want to be a pro athlete.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but like McDavid was the Scholastic
Yeah, he was Scholastic.
Player of the Year, or whatever, for the CHL, which is top or whatever. But like, if you're not that interested in the schooling,
then
now you do have to do it the CHL. But
if you are interested in schooling, that makes you cool.
Yeah,
Because being
stay in
smart,
school.
because being smart is cool. It's hard to find these days.
Or you just do what Matt does and you make
Crypto, baby.
Crypto king.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the other backup option if it doesn't work. But
it's true.
7 days, that's it. All it takes.
Smart athletes are like, it's just such a big headline, right? Like they'll always talk about it. The announcers will, like the NFL guy or whatever has like a.
Well, Andrew
went to
Luck was
med
a big
school or
deal
something, right?
when he came because he also helped him and Jim Harbaugh make Stanford a good football school for a moment, which was, well, that's a smart school. Why are you good at football type thing? But Andrew Luck was brilliant. Mm-hmm. And then you had Tardif, the Chiefs, who's a doctor.
Same with our
Laurent
CFL guy
Duvernay-Tardif,
who went to the Chiefs. The CFL guy that went to the Chiefs was a doctor.
Tardif.
Okay, yes, my bad.
Yeah. Like that's, you get those guys. There was actually a guy that, I think it was a Florida State Seminole. He was drafted, but he won, I think it's the Rhodes Scholarship or something like that, which is very prestigious.
You go to Oxford.
And I think he took that. And I was like, whoa, like that's a pretty big deal. Like, so there are some of those guys, but then there's some that just go, I want it. I could do the education later. Pro career ends at 35, whatever, 36, 37. I could still do education after that if I need to. Maximize this time. And then there's some that just say, screw it. I'm just going to go make a lot of money, then figure out life after.
Yeah, I mean, so I work for the world governing body for university sport, and we talk all the time about this aspect of dual career and the idea of being an elite athlete in whatever sport it is you're doing, but also studying and working, on that at the same time. And it's not easy. I mean, these athletes are going nonstop, trying to get, because they're traveling, they're training, they're competing, and then they're still trying to do education at the same time. So some of those stories that we even hear from around the world, it's incredible what these athletes are doing. And, but yeah, I think it may open that door a little bit. I mean, it may just change the perspective for people a little bit. But again, that's, to be honest though, that's already existed in the hockey world, because again, the fantastic scholarship program that was built in years ago has allowed players to, again, you can play in the WHL for 5 years and then you get 5 years of education at a great school. So it's already built in, but it just may change. I don't know if it's going to be a dramatic shift. People that know more about this may have differing opinions, but I think there'll be subtle changes, and it will force U Sports to potentially think differently about how they can't necessarily just expect that those players are just going to show up at their doorstep. And I'm not saying they do that. I mean, I know Ian Herbers recruits a ton trying to get, so don't get me wrong, but it may just be a bit of a different approach they have to take now.
And it's one that we'll wait and see, I guess, and see how it all plays out. And then after a few years, everyone's going to adjust and figure out things and figure things out.
Yeah.
To me, it's the youth sport. As long as they're good, because it's fun hockey. It's great going to Claire Drake.
Will this benefit more Canadians though? More Canadian talent?
In what sense? Like in what?
Like as far as prospects go and.
Yeah, but I think maybe it gives them more options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's also options outside of Canada.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know if we want to see hockey players all leaving Canada type thing.
Yeah.
I'm great with it with basketball.
Yeah.
They let the Americans develop our basketball players. They know what the hell they're doing. We know how to develop hockey players. So.
But there's more funding and such, right? In the NCAA.
There can be.
Yeah.
There can be. Depends what school. Depends who has it. They could do NIL deals. I don't know how much NIL money comes into hockey. I don't know what is. But maybe like the Minnesota schools have a little bit that comes in. I don't know.
I mean,
but there is the ability to maybe make some money on the side.
Yeah.
Personally, if I if I was in, in their shoes, I would want to go to NCAA because I would be like, that looks really cool on my resume. That's a good flex on my CV. NCAA
But for what?
It sticks out to me.
But for what? What are you trying to have it stick out to? Because if you're trying to go to the NHL, no one cares. The GMs don't care where they went. They care how good of a hockey player you are. There's no difference between Oil Kings and Minnesota Gophers.
Legit. I see what you're saying.
But if it's in the real world, like beyond that, not having, university does matter, but you could have a University of Alberta degree after your CHL career, and that's pretty big.
It is. That is pretty big.
But you bring up a good point, because I think you bring up a point in general about and not that you're wrong at all, but the perception of the NCAA
exactly
and what it is. Now, I've also heard lots of stories of athletes in various sports going to the NCAA thinking it is the panacea, and you realize, oh my God, the school I'm going to is garbage. The competition level is not great. And so they come back to Canada realizing that, it's actually pretty good here. Now, that's not across the board. I mean, there are great opportunities in the NCAA too. But I think you bring up a great point around maybe us in Canada, we don't value to the same degree. We look at university sport differently, and we maybe value it differently and underappreciate, frankly, even what goes on here. Again, I've broadcast U of A basketball for years, and the caliber of basketball that we see now is incredible. It just continues to get better and better and better, even though we do have lots of athletes going down south too. So I think we as Canadians probably have to do a better job of how we promote, and this is lots of things, how we promote university sport, but also how we appreciate it, because we have incredible sport in our own backyard, and yet we often do get very fixated on the NCAA, sometimes for good reasons, but I think sometimes maybe not great reasons.
It's the balance I struggle with internally, where I would love youth sport to get more attention, but I also don't want it to turn into the NCAA where it's got too much attention, where it's too business, too much money involved in it. Because there is something beautiful about watching a Bears or Pandas basketball or hockey game or whatever, and it's the essence of the sport. And then you go watch it, like I'm watching Georgia Bama. I'm gonna love the hell watching a game like that, but also the business, the money behind all of that. I don't want all of that coming in. You want a little bit more, but not too much more. So there's that balance for it.
Yeah, but you're right. You bring up a real good point. I think that whole perception, real and maybe not always real, of what the NCAA is, I think, is something that in Canadian university sport they've battled with for a long time.
Dudley texts in saying the NIL deals are only for Americans. Canadian players won't qualify for that.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I guess we'll have to fully watch how that goes.
So that's an interesting point then. And again, not that would be the major driver for someone going to, but that definitely.
But where that could be a major driver is, like, I'll go back to McDavid type thing. You could play in the CHL waiting to go to the NHL, or you can go play for the NCAA for a couple of years waiting for the NHL, but go get money.
Yeah.
A lot of money on the side. Like, if you get that right, and so you don't get that avenue, potentially. Where in Austin Matthews, like, he went to go play in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Maybe he chooses to go a different, stay low, whatever, but go get money. If somebody wants to pay, if you could find that person that's willing to pay you.
Yeah, but then you're not. I mean, if you're the guys in those category in that level, I mean, then you're not playing the NHL until you're 19, so you're missing out on that initially. I mean,
that's true. That's a good point.
There's a handful of guys that will only play. I mean, not everyone is going to be in that situation. So maybe you will see some players that, whatever, you're picked 15th overall, and you've been playing with the Erie Otters, and now you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna go play 1 year at Boston University. Go play with the Terriers. I'll come back, and then maybe that is what'll happen. I don't know.
It would be a very small group.
Yeah.
It's only like the elite of the elite. But then also, again, you would need the money for that. You need to find somebody that's willing to pay you to go play hockey at a university in the States.
Yeah,
and
that. Yeah,
I don't know how easy that. I honestly have no clue how much there is. Football, they'll spend. You can find that money. I don't know if it's there for hockey. Back to the Oilers.
Yeah.
Brandon from Windsor texts in a question for us. With Dry off to a hot start, he's 130 points away from 1,000. Does he do it this season? He would need to reach 150 this season. He has 20 points in 16 games, and the team hasn't started to kick ass yet. Could Leon get 130 points this season when he's already at 20?
You want to go on that?
No,
on this one first?
I don't. I love Dry, but I don't know.
That's a big year.
Yeah.
So 20 points, 16 games, that's 1.25 per game. He plays 82 games, that's 102 points. So he needs to really bring up his average a bit.
Yeah.
Of the handful of players in the league who could do it, he's in that handful. Do I think he does it? No. I think we're back here a year from now, probably already having talked about his 1,000th point. But yeah, that would be a heck of a season. He's again, knock on wood, whatever. He's generally pretty healthy, but
128 is his best year.
yeah, that's
110 or 2 other years.
a big jump.
Yeah, I don't see it happening this year, but it's an easy 1,000 point next year. That he gets.
Yeah. Next year
Right.
for sure.
Early, yeah, it'll be early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good question.
That's a good question.
What made me think?
yeah, but I don't want to bet against him. I don't want to bet against these
Prove
guys,
us
but
wrong.
I just history says that to get to 150 now, the Oilers would have to go on a really big run.
Yeah.
So we will.
And his you got to get he needs his line mates to get going a little bit too.
The offense, to a degree, needs to get going, but they've
to a
got it
huge
the
degree
last
needs to get
couple of
going.
games a little bit, and we'll see what happens tonight. Leon might get 4 points tonight, 5 points tonight. It is the team that he loves to play against, the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's gonna be a rowdy game on top of that. Like regardless with this 1,000 point hype, I think it's just gonna be a rowdy match.
I'm intrigued who Nashville plays in net. Do you allow Saros to get lit up again, or do you just no, that's our star goalie, we're not gonna let, some teams just won't. Devils didn't play Markstrom. Is there one why play him? Just let's go with the backup, let's keep him.
It's like us with Pickard tonight, right?
Is it Pickard tonight?
I believe
is,
so.
yeah.
Is it?
As long as you hope it's not a trap game either. I mean, I know Nashville struggled out of the gate big time, and the Oilers do play very well against them, but Nashville's played them better here than they have at home.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And now
That's
the
a very
Oilers
good
are
point.
rested up a bit, after the Islanders match there. So
Yeah.
they had a slug. In my opinion, that game was really boring to watch until the end. So I feel like they weren't putting all their energy out on that game. So today there should be a lot of scoring.
Well, and I think the grade A scoring chances were 17-3 in that Islander game. So again, the offense, maybe they're starting to feel it a little bit, which would be necessary, maybe the understatement of the year, considering where they started.
GCLT's Oil Stream pregame show. Tommy Hernan will get you going with setup for the game, 6 o'clock right here in Edmonton Sports Talk. The official drink of the EST Hangout, the Finnish long drink legend of 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada. Matawanek, Doug McLean, Jasmine Sidhu with you. Did I get that?
Sidhu. You can say Sidhu. It's fine.
I'm trying to get it. I think I'm close.
Sidhu. Seducer. Sidhu.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to get the accent a little bit in there and doing stuff. We're here with you on the
appreciate
EST
that.
Hangout. EST Flyway to LA Keyword coming up in just a little bit as we're about to get into hour 2 of the Hangout.
Already, eh?
Lock Shop coming up at 11. Myself and Huss at Grey Cup in Vancouver. Him and I will have our Grey Cup thoughts on the Lock Shop today, as well as look at the Thursday nighter tonight between the Eagles and the Commanders. Early Grey Cup thoughts. Well, I guess not early because we're now on Thursday.
Yeah.
Grey Cup thoughts?
It's Bombers to lose, I think. I mean, and it might have been anyway, even if Kelly was healthy, it might have been. I just think Winnipeg, they've just trended up since that 0-4 start. They've been really good. It's going to be, I will be very surprised if they don't win somewhat handily on Sunday. I just think they're coming to the end of this big run of theirs, and
Well, they need one more year
yeah,
because it's in Winnipeg next year, the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
So they'll need to get one more year out of this if they can.
Toronto's favored?
No, Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah. This is the whole time. Like, what? This is
No,
news to me.
and actually, I just looked it up. They are so it started on CoolBet at minus or a 10.5 spread. It's down to
Minus
9.
10.5?
Wow.
Oh, it's
Okay, down
10,
to
it's down
9.
9.
That's still a big number.
It is a
That
very
is a
big
big
number.
Yeah.
On Nick Arbuckle starting.
well, yeah,
That's the Nick Arbuckle
why?
effect.
No,
Okay.
well, I think for sure.
If
Kelly
Chad
being out.
Kelly's in that game, I think the Bombers are favored by 2.5, 3 points.
Maybe. I mean, maybe even a bit more. But yeah, you're right. It'd definitely be much closer than this.
Well, Toronto's been hot recently. They've been trending in the right direction themselves until the Chad Kelly injury.
Yeah, and they went in, a pretty hostile environment at Molson Stadium against a good Montreal team, knocked them off.
And they've played the Bombers well
Yeah.
over the last couple of years. They know how to do it. The Argos defense, which is good, and their special teams, which is very good, they have to show up. The Argos can't make a mistake this week.
Yeah.
They make mistakes, they're going to lose this football game. But if they can play a clean football game, Nick Arbuckle doesn't turn it over.
Yep.
And if defensively and special teams, they could just elevate their game just a smidge, they could pull off the upset. But again, it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And the Bombers don't need to be perfect to go win this Grey Cup. That's the difference here. And it's going to be tight. I just hope it's close. That's what I want a close game going into the fourth quarter so I can watch an entertaining fourth quarter knowing the Grey Cup's coming down to the wire. That's what I want. I just hope it's not a blowout because we have an injury.
Who do you want to win?
Toronto.
Because we're not supposed to like Winnipeg, right?
I always cheer against the West.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I'm the guy that it's rivalries.
Yeah,
Man. I don't like
You too?
Saskatchewan. I don't like Calgary. I've always had a little thing against BC. Winnipeg I've grown to hate. To me, it's they're almost more rivals.
But the Winnipeg fans are so nice. And they're just like diehards. And they live in Winnipeg. Like, just give it to them.
They've had enough. You?
I generally agree with you. Like, if it was Saskatchewan or Calgary, of course, I'd be cheering for whoever's coming out of the East. BC, I'm okay with. And Winnipeg, I think because of the fact that they're no threat to any of the former Eskimo 3 in a row or 5 in a row, it's not bad. But it's funny, and I will sound like the old guy here a little bit, but they remind me a little bit of, when the Eskimos were coming to the end of their 5-year run, they were 3-5 to start that 82 season, won 8 straight, hosted the Western Final, beat Winnipeg actually, and then won the Grey Cup in Toronto. And it reminds me a little bit of that team in terms of slow start. Hey guys, we've got this group. It's probably coming to an end at some point in the next year or two. Let's rally, and they've done exactly that. I mean, they were great the game here back in the fall. They were fantastic against the game that Ford struggled in. So, I don't hate the Bombers. I kind of like the city of Winnipeg too. So I'm okay with the Bombers.
How many tickets do you think are sold? Like, do you think it's at capacity yet? Or
It'll get there.
Yeah.
It wasn't sold out as of last
And
week
how much
yet.
are those tickets, since we were talking about tickets earlier?
Minimum's 120.
Yeah.
To get like the nosebleeds?
Yeah.
be
So
up
it's like
there.
$100 plus all the fees makes it like $120 or something like that.
Yeah, I always rave about BC Place. It's a great venue.
Yeah, it's not bad. Even if you're sitting up, like I
Yeah.
was at the Grey Cup there in 20. I've been a couple Grey Cups there, but up in 2011, we were a little ways up, and it was fine. I've been to lots of games there. It's a good angles are pretty good there. So
I was talking to a colleague and I was like, well, she's from Winnipeg and she's a big Blue Bombers fan.
Yeah.
I asked her, I said, hey, like the flights are really cheap to go. Like, you can fly into Abbotsford, and if you don't want to fly into, YVR,
yep.
like what's stopping you from going since you're such a diehard? And she goes, the hotels are
Yeah,
ridiculous
Yes,
in Vancouver.
that's what's stopping.
And they're always
ridiculous,
they're always
especially doing
crazy.
weekends, long weekends,
Yeah.
and let alone like no event going on.
Yeah,
And she made such a good point.
Yeah.
How
No,
unfair.
flights were cheap.
Yeah.
And I was because we were thinking of going with EST.
I was thinking of going too. And for that reason too. Yeah.
But then we decided not to as a station. And then I thought, well, I want to go. And then I was looking like for me to pay for a hotel room, like it'd be like $1,500 for me to go by myself.
no point.
And it's like, well, and that's
Vancouver.
mostly it's because I have to pay for a hotel room or an Airbnb or something.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculously expensive. And you're barely spending time in your hotel room.
No,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, that's going to eat up all this cost. I miss Grey Cup. I want to be at Grey Cup. It's a lot of fun. I can't do that. And so like Winnipeg's going to be like, I'm hoping it should be a lot cheaper.
Yes.
And it's worth going.
Hotels
but-
everywhere though. That's the problem in Canada right now.
Yeah.
Hotel prices everywhere have
Even if you gather a
spiked.
bunch of people to get an Airbnb though.
Well, that's what you need. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I think you're right.
you could have done that. I would have obviously gotten
Well-
the primary room.
Well, the problem is also then for us as a station to have gone, there's a couple of issues that go with that. One is we need an Airbnb for like 12 people.
It's doable.
Not all of them. They're pretty pricey.
I'm a big travel person. I'll do it next time.
But it was like we were trying to get like the company pay for it or something.
Oh, okay.
We weren't asking people to pay for it.
I was
type
like,
thing.
oh,
So
bitch.
no. But like, and then maybe like, so there's that.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Also, it's how to get there. We'd have to split up people flying at different times because we're now live 6 to 6.
Oh.
That makes it a little more
That would
interesting.
have been fun and doable. Could have been doable.
But it is expensive. I don't know. I have family out there. I was just out there 10 days ago, so I'm lucky I've got family out there. But it's
We're all just going to stay at Huss's place in Winnipeg next
There
year.
you go.
Between Huss and Remus, we're just going to go crash their places. I also know Darren bombing Jeff Hamilton. We'll find a way to weasel our way in. Tickets, there are tickets. They're called $99 plus taxes and fees. They're selling for $128.20.
Okay.
You're talking about almost $30 in taxes and fees.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But is that a reasonable
it's
price
not
to go
bad.
see the Grey Cup?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, it's certainly been
Yeah,
the
sure.
cheapest ticket has been higher than that.
Yeah,
for sure.
It should be
I don't hate
$100 to get in. To me, I think it should be 100 all in, like taxes and everything. Almost, or maybe like 130 is a little bit on the higher end for what I would like to see. I don't want the Grey Cup not to be sold out. Now, right now, it's the upper bowl. That's all that's left. Like the lower bowl is pretty sold nicely.
Most of that would have been gone.
But the upper bowl, actually, there's a lot still available in the upper bowl.
It's going to get, thing with Vancouver is when they have nothing to do, those people out there, they will end up going.
Well, look at all these open seats.
Yeah. No, that's the challenge.
Oh, that's definitely going to get
55,000.
No, that's definitely going to get filled up. Trust me.
That's still a lot of seats, though. That's not sold out. What is it? When 2010 happened in Edmonton.
Now, are those resales or those?
No, that's Ticketmaster.
Unsold, okay.
That's the standard prices.
Okay.
They don't even have resale on here.
I have a lot of family in Vancouver too, but it's all the boys going. I'm not allowed to come.
What?
Yeah, they got a limo.
Why do you mean you're not
Party
allowed to
bus.
You're not
come?
allowed in a limo? Like,
Because
what's the-
I'm a girl and it's boys' night.
Just go.
Remember, I always have this dilemma,
Yeah, just
right?
go though.
Just go. Yeah.
But they're gonna
Tag along.
Well, if you're the,
Like
what
went to
they're
the
gonna,
Montreal game.
what they're not gonna let you in the limo. What they're gonna literally look at you like, Jasmine. No, we said no. You stay out.
Yeah, they will. They're Canucks fans. Bunch of jerks.
I gotta ask. Like you've been around the Bears team for a long time. What are your thoughts on Chris Morris heading over to the Elks as president?
Well, I'll be honest, I was actually overseas for work and was back to our Twitter conversation. I saw Reed had posted something and I'm like, oh, gee, okay. So it's late at night. I'm checking in, listening to their show, and he's talking about it. I'm like, and so I knew that they would go after a former player and someone with continued ties to the city. I think that was a given. Who that was going to be, I had no idea. I didn't think it would be him necessarily, but I think it's the more that I've thought about it, I think it's a really good hire. I don't claim to know Chris that well. I mean, I've had some conversations with him over the years in relation to U of A stuff, but yeah, I think if you look at what he did with Golden Bears football in terms of building it to a program that is now, I mean, they had a tough year this year, but again, they were 2-6, and no word of a lie, could have just as easily been 6-2.
So many games lost at the end.
And after massive leads in the second half. And anyway, that's another conversation. But I mean, he's built a program. It's a very different job the U of A will be hiring for now than they were when he was brought on. And that's a testament, I think, to what he's done in terms of building that up. And that's really what the AA need right now. They need someone that can find a way to, yes, understand the football side, whatever, you take care of that. But it's really about ingraining trust back in this community, in this football team. And I think he might be the ideal guy to do it. We'll see. I mean, but I think he might be the ideal guy to do it.
What are you laughing at over there?
Oh, nothing. The nasties are all
Being nasty.
they're just being so funny. They said they'll take me to the Grey Cup, and Norm made a luggage joke. Norm, when I see you next time, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, what'll be fascinating for Chris, I think, though, is at the U of A, when he was building something up, he talked about how it was about graduations and all that stuff. Like, that was his success. But now it's about winning. And him getting back to being, no, what matters is winning football. Now, he obviously wants a good culture and everything in the room, but it's not. He's not looking to graduate people or anything anymore. It's now about wins and losses.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to matter. And he's going to have to become back to being that professional Chris Morris. And I don't think that'll be a problem for him.
No, I think you're right. And I think,
But it's just going to be an interesting dynamic to go for that. Because at his press conference, he talked, the question was asked like of the failures of the U of A. He's like, your failures are not my failures.
Right.
Like I was success. Like, and he pointed to the graduation rate. And then I asked him, what is success with the Elks?
Yeah.
And he just is winning.
Yeah.
It's a different end goal of what he's trying to accomplish. But it's also a team that he absolutely loves, and I'm fascinated to see what he gets done. And next week we'll find out who the GM is.
But I think you bring up a good point too around, I think what the message he will try to send is that it's culture that leads to winning. Now, that culture can't take 10 years to build, don't get me wrong, but it's culture that leads to winning. And again, back to the Bombers, that's what they've done. They've created a winning culture with consistency, players staying. That's what has made, well, football teams anywhere, but certainly the CFL good over many, many years. And I think that's what I think he said that in the press conference, like the revolving door is over. And that's not just in the office. That's, I think he's saying on the field too.
It's both.
And that's a league-wide issue. That's not just an Elks issue. That's a league-wide issue in terms of player turnover and too much of it going on. But back to the idea, you create a culture, you start to limit that revolving door of players because guys want to be there.
Well, Winnipeg has guys that have been there for how long? And they're actually, some of those guys, they're taking less money to stay there.
Absolutely.
We were looking at Niles Morgan's the longest serving Elk at 4 years.
Yeah, which is
Trey Ford is a top 6, 7 tenured player with the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah.
That's where like Trey Ford is one of the longest serving Edmonton Elks that this franchise has because with Chris Jones, there was that much turnover as well on top of it.
I think that was an indirect sort of slap at Chris Jones for how he, and again, even before he came back to Edmonton, he was the same issue with him in Saskatchewan too.
And to a degree, I will defend Chris Jones to a degree on that is when you're trying to take it to the ground and rebuild something up, you're having to find those players. You don't have a lot of pillars to build off of. Yeah. But it also, it makes things a lot more complicated when there is no connection to this team. There's no connection to the community, no connection to the league for a lot of the guys that you've brought in. Yeah. So,
well, and football is such. I mean, if you go back to the field, I mean, football is such a game of trust. I mean, it's in my mind, it's the ultimate team game because you need, the CFL, you got 12 players on both sides of the field that you have to be able to trust that they are doing their job, that you can focus on yours. And I think that's the case in football, maybe more than any sport. So having a revolving door where you're going to have injuries, I get all that stuff. But when you can largely trust the people that are around you, it completely changes how you play. That feeds then into that broader culture conversation too.
Today's been a weird day. I'm just going to throw this out there. You had your team issues.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine hacked my Instagram account.
Nice.
I just found our work email is down now.
Oh, geez.
Oh, is that right?
There's a lot happening today. Jasmine, what did you send me yesterday? What did you send to you sent this mass malware to the internet to take everyone down.
Are we even on right now? Is this like
that's a great question.
I'm getting that hat some way, somehow.
Better be a nice hat.
Do you guys mind if I bring up a little bit of MLB quick here?
Yes, one moment.
Sure.
Let me do the EST flyaway keyword, and then we'll get into that. Are you talking Soto? Or are we talking about something else?
Actually, something else. Tampa
Rays?
Yeah.
We could get into that.
I got some information
let's
on that
get to the EST flyaway to LA, the keyword. 780 homegrown local shop. They are the presenting sponsor of the EST flyaway to Edmonton. Both the shop named their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to Edmonton. They work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. You can check them out 780.com or at any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. We want to send you to LA. Flights, accommodations, car, Warriors, Clippers, Intuit Dome, Rams, Card, SoFi Stadium, Edmonton taking on Anaheim or LA in hockey. Like I said, December 26th through to the 27th. Jasmine likes reading the word.
Oh, yeah. Are we doing it? Okay.
Well, what do you think I'm doing right now?
The word is star. Star. Like, there is a star in the sky.
LA is the town of stars.
That's an S at the end.
It'll still come through. Stars in there.
Each one is a star.
Each one
is a star.
Kobe Bryant was a star of LA.
Yes.
Sandy Koufax was a star of LA. Magic Johnson was a star of LA.
Star.
Star 780.
STAR. Star.
780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw, travel call someone in the next few minutes. We'll speak to them on the air, and you can be our latest qualifier for the EST Flyaway. We're in our third last week of qualifying. After this week, only 2 more weeks, and next week's a full week of qualifying, Monday through Saturday. The week after is only Monday through Thursday, because the Friday the 29th, we will give this away. And we'll see if Dusty's back for that. We'll see if he's healthy enough to give away this trip.
He's like the Walking Dead, eh?
Yeah, I'll have to follow up with him.
Yeah, well,
at some
Dusty.
point.
Yeah.
Baseball, Tampa Bay Rays, they're on the move.
What up, Chris G? Thank you for this. So he wrote, Tampa Rays just announced they will play at the Yankees spring training facility next year. And I have a little bit of information on this as well.
Yes, George Steinbrenner Field.
So I guess it would cost $55 million to, it was the Tropicana, is that what it's called?
Tropicana Field.
And they're doing
Yeah.
it, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be ready for till 26.
That's right. So these guys are going to pull like an Oakland.
Yeah. Oakland's doing it on purpose,
Yeah.
playing in a minor league ballpark. Tampa has no choice.
And how many, like the capacity of that?
Well, Sacramento's not very big. This one, I don't know this one. I'm guessing this one's reasonable size. Considering
it's
it's the
Yankees,
Yankees
right? Yeah.
spring training
Yeah, so
facility.
we only do things right as the Yankees. Sorry. Their capacity is just over 11,000.
Oh, so it's actually, yeah. It's not
but-
huge. Can they expand it though? Maybe.
I don't think they. Well,
I mean, now that the Rays are mass, they don't
That's
draw
the thing.
huge anyway. So
I don't think
maybe
their
it's a good
attendance
thing.
is that big. Last year they averaged 16.5.
Yeah, they're. I mean,
So they're going to drop 4,000. There's probably some sort of insurance thing you can get out of this.
oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm assuming there's some sort of losses that like insurance will pay for the dome to be rebuilt because they're building a new stadium. So it's also like, why would you redo this?
I don't think they are going to redo it though, right? They're going to build a whole brand new facility now.
Well, they're going to have to do both.
Yeah.
They can't build a stadium in 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to,
Unless they just don't
20,
repair it and
20.
just
I think
fly
they're
here.
repairing it for 26 because I don't think they have to pay for the repairs. I would assume that they have some sort of insurance to cover this.
I would imagine they would. Although, yeah, I mean, I know hurricane insurance can be tricky, but yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that because the repairs that will cost $55.7 million will not be finished until after the 25 season.
Yeah.
So that's happening. What's their new stadium going to be? Because it's taken Oakland, 3 years? They think they're in Sacramento
That's
for
like-
3 years till they go to
Oh,
Oakland?
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah,
it's
to Vegas.
2027 for this one too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a franchise that's been, I mean, they've been linked to playing games back in Montreal. I mean, this is not a franchise that has, I mean, as much as they've had good success in the last 15 plus years, because they've been a pretty good franchise despite being sort of quote unquote small market, but they just do not draw well.
So they have a planned breaking of the ground in winter of next year for the new stadium.
Okay.
It's not going to be open until 28. You can't play at George
okay.
Steinbrenner Field for 3 seasons, 3 seasons. You're losing, even if it's 4,000 fans you're averaging a night. That's quite a bit of cash. And also the Yankees won't want it. The Yankees are probably like, absolutely, like you could use it for this season. We understand, but I don't think they're going to be like, we're welcome to George Steinbrenner Field for 3 years.
Yeah.
They've got their own minor league team and stuff like that, and it's a division play team. So they'll be like, get back to your stadium, go fix that.
Yeah.
So no, I think they'll have to do both. They'll fix Tropicana.
I don't think they're gonna fix it.
It's happening.
It is. It's confirmed.
I think so. Otherwise, why would they say it's not going to be done until 2025?
$55 million.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read if they're looking to replace the roof with the similar, because I mean, this roof was apparently supposed to withstand winds heavier than the ones that actually ripped it to shreds. So I don't know what they're. Yeah, so is there a
Considering
way,
what happened?
Well, exactly. But then, can you build? Is this? Can you
Yeah,
build
don't
it in
order
a-
that. Don't order that one from
that's
Temu.
right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
That's right. Exactly. Find a better plastic.
Here's an article from a couple days ago. Tampa Bay Rays' new stadium is at risk of losing its public funding. There was always those opposing to use public funding for stadium, but now they've got new energy after the hurricanes. Indeed, it would seem it's much harder to allocate $600 million taxpayer dollars towards a new stadium when they have to fix a bunch of things. So we will see.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to have to fix Tropicana, because you actually don't even know if the stadium's actually going to happen.
That's what I was asking.
Well, maybe they can. Is there a way they could I've never been to Tropicana, but everyone says it's just an awful baseball facility. I mean, it's sightlines aren't great. The lighting's weird. I mean, with the dome on it, like, I mean, I guess they wouldn't necessarily want to open it up, but maybe can you do a BC Play style thing where it's not the dome you've got a little more light, natural light coming in. I don't know. This is engineer Doug now.
Yeah, no,
architect Doug now talking.
I think that then you have to get into, it'd have to be, okay, so then you'd have to be a retractable roof, because if it rains, I don't think they have the drainage facility,
No, probably not.
because there's such a dome thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If only Montreal had built a stadium by now, maybe they could have stole the Rays.
Well, yeah, I mean, there have been plans for years. Downtown, 45,000 seater.
What is it? Warren Cromartie's been part of that.
Oh, yeah, they're still talking about it. I don't doubt that at some point it might happen. But
I said at the start of 2020 for decade predictions that it would happen this decade, but now I think I'm out. I think that's going to be pretty. I think time's running out on that one.
I haven't heard lately if MLB is looking to expand, and if so, like there'd be other U.S. markets. I'm assuming would be higher on the list. Nashville would be the first one that comes to my mind.
Jeff Grishel always throws out this one, which when he first did, I was like, that is brilliant, because easily they could sell 20,000 a night, if not more, in Mexico City.
Yep. Yeah. No.
Be the first North American league.
For sure.
They love their baseball. Mexico City is 20 million people?
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yeah.
They love their baseball. You're asking for, again, like 30,000 a night. I don't think they'll have a single problem with that.
No, probably not.
And that would be that to me, that I don't think there's a better spot. And then the NFL is one country. NBA, NHL are 2 countries. they could be the first that goes, we're 3.
We're 3. Yeah. No,
But
you're right.
I think everyone's looking at the NHL and going, look at how much money they're making for expansion. I think NBA and MLB for sure, and going, well, we need a piece of that pie.
Yeah, I am surprised the NBA hasn't jumped on the expansion, especially with the growth of basketball globally. I'm not saying that they would necessarily go global. I'm just surprised that it's. I mean, you have not seen expansion in the NBA for a long time. And after 4 in the late '80s, they've kind of they really haven't done a ton. It's interesting.
Got to get to Seattle.
You got to get back to Seattle.
And they will go to Vegas. And that, I think, is just waiting for LeBron to retire.
Maybe.
Because he's supposed to be part of that. Because I think Fenway Sports Group wants that, which they own the Penguins, they own the Red Sox, they own Liverpool. Yeah. They want Vegas. But it's like also, how do you not have, like, it's not for a lack of ownership. I'm sure somebody very much has the money and is willing to bring a team to Seattle again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm just so curious as to why the NBA hasn't done it.
You think Vegas will happen before Seattle?
No, I think Vegas happens when LeBron happens.
Okay.
When retires.
Isn't Seattle in the works, though?
I haven't heard anything.
I've heard.
What have you heard?
Something I read on Twitter.
Let's qualify somebody.
Is that a blue check mark?
Yeah, right?
We've got to qualify somebody for the EST flyweight to LA. Who am I speaking with right now?
Hashtag hats for Jasmine.
Well, who is this though?
It's Norm.
Oh, hey Norm, how are you? Congratulations, you're in the mix. He started with hashtag hats for Jasmine. So I got like this one little earbud in. Sorry, Norm. Congratulations, you're now in the mix. Have you had any technical issues today?
No.
No? Perfect. At least Jasmine hasn't ruined things for you. If you win this trip to Los Angeles, wife going, I'm assuming?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I do have 3 boys that would really love to go.
I know, but how do you pick between your boys? Are you going to say you have a favorite son?
I might just give them the trip that they can fight
Wrestling
it out.
match.
Oh, give them the trip and it's battle between. So then what? Okay, I don't even know how that's going to play out, Norm. Okay, well, if you win and you do go, what would you be most excited about doing? NFL game, NBA game, or NHL game?
You know what? Probably the NFL game.
Love it. Well,
I'm not a huge basketball fan, but I mean, I would like to see the rink.
I think if you go to an NBA game in person, you might get converted a little bit, Norm. I'll just throw that out there. I think the TV doesn't do it justice in my mind. Jasmine's giving the thumbs up. Norm, congratulations. You're in the mix. Keep your phone on November 29th on the morning show, because if your name's chosen, you got to answer your phone, and the boys will give you a call, let you know that you're off to LA, or your boys are off to LA.
Thank you very much, folks. Have a great day.
Have a good one, Norm. And that's Norm in a combine, who's qualified. And you could be like Norm. You could qualify 2 more chances today to qualify for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780. Coming up on... Wow, nothing for Doug. Just for Jasmine.
Oh, sorry.
No, hey, I didn't even
It's a mommy thing. It's
Oh, yeah, no, that's cool. Coming up on
that's all
EST
good.
Afternoons in the Reed Wilkins Show. I know I get nothing.
Maddie's just having a day. You better do it, or you're going to hear about it. Yeah.
That's a big trap there.
What looks desirable to you?
Of the 3?
Yeah.
I'd love to see the new the
Intuit Dome?
The Intuit Dome. I'd love to see that. I've become less of an NBA fan over the years. I just don't love the style of play, but there's a whole other thing. I mean, whatever. It's always fun to see the others play on the road, so maybe I'd say that, but as long as they win. But all 3 would be good. I mean, I've been fortunate to go to NBA games, NFL and NHL and other markets, so it'd be all 3 would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I want to see SoFi Stadium so bad.
I've seen it from the air, but I've never obviously seen it. But
anyone that has gone to SoFi Stadium that I know has been at SoFi Stadium, the raving of it is just incredible. And actually, like, as a Manchester United fan, they're looking at building a new facility, and they're looking at SoFi as the standard. Like, look at what this is and what they've created, and they're trying to replicate that. And not many people could fully replicate that.
No. Well, I'm curious about. I mean, I was fortunate to go to the Olympics this summer and. Having seen what they did there venue-wise for swimming, I'm curious because that's where swimming will be at the LA Olympics.
Yes.
Is at SoFi, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they do that in a massive... I mean, I saw it in Paris and how they did it there, but I'm curious to see how they do it in SoFi and how they're going to orient the pool and how many seats are going to be available. It's going to be quite the place to watch swimming.
I'm fascinated by the LA Olympics because of all the venues that they're using.
Yeah.
And just seeing where they're doing everything, it is going to be wonderful. Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. This is the EST Hangout live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in iHeartRadio, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Jasmine, Doug, Matt with you here. You eager to jump in with something?
I was just going to tell you that apparently, this is where I did hear it from Adam Silver, the man himself, that they are going to potentially go to Seattle.
Well, yeah, they've talked about cities, but I don't think anything's in the works in terms of talking to an ownership group yet or anything like that. He's thrown out Vancouver.
Yeah, I think they'd be in the mix too.
That would be great, but that's not going to happen.
They're up there, but there's, I think, you got to get to Seattle, you got to get to Vegas, and then it's okay, who's next? Mm-hmm. And who would want to buy Vancouver? Who has $1 billion plus American?
Somebody in West Vancouver
to drop on the table and say, I want to bring an NBA team.
Shaughnessy, Point Grey. Just talk to those, just knock on doors there.
There's a lot of rich people in Vancouver.
So Yukon Jack from 100 Point Through the Bear, he quote tweeted me today with eye emojis. Wemby has the fastest 50-point plus game in NBA history. It only took him 26 minutes. Yuke's not sending that to me because he got 50 points. Mm-hmm. He sent that to me because Uke believes that we will see someone have 100 points in the NBA game. The only player to ever do that is Wilt. I keep telling him, not a chance. Do you guys think we'll ever see someone get 100 points in an NBA game? As the rules stand currently. No 4-point line, nothing like that being added.
Won't happen. Not enough possessions in the game. Teams are too good defensively. I just don't see it happening. I mean, Kobe got to what, 84 was
81.
it? 81 was it? Yeah. So and that was him just literally touching the ball on every possession. I don't think so. I think there's no way.
We've discussed this before. I said no. I've said no.
81 points is the highest we've ever seen. Yeah. You're still 19 points shy.
Right. Yeah.
19 points shy. It's not happening. Him and I will die on this one.
But this Wemby stat is really interesting, eh?
He ended the night, I looked it up, playing 32 minutes and 50 points. He stayed at 50 points. He took 29 shots. The next closest free field goal attempts on his team was Vassell at 14.
So what did he go? He took 29. What was?
He was 18 of 29. He was 8 of 16 from 3. He took 16 3-point attempts. His team took 44 overall 3-point shots. He took 16 of them.
There's the NBA in a nutshell right there.
Actually, it's funny because Reed and I were at an Oiler game a couple weeks ago and we're talking about, it was the opening night, I think. And the Celtics set a record for most threes in a game or something like that at 26 or whatever. Yeah. And he's just like, go pull up some stats of the 80s and go see how many 3 balls were done. And we found, I just picked a game in like October, random game. And it was like, I think a total we counted, there was 7 threes in that game, total. Yeah. And the Celtics that night went for like 63 threes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I found a Celtics Warriors game from the 80s where Larry Bird, went for 7 threes or something. Yeah, and overall, in the course of the game between both teams, it was 18. Yeah. And again, it was the Celtics. Like Wemby went for 16 alone last night. Yeah. That's where the game is now.
Yeah, I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and it was clips from, and I can't remember what it was now, clips from the early 90s in the NBA. I saw more mid-range jumpers in that 4-minute clip than I've seen in the NBA in the last 4 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, doing the U of A games before, we get shot charts. And the shot charts are hilarious. And I mean, it'd be the same for the NBA or call it whatever. It's everything around the arc, everything in the paint, and there's this gaping hole. It's like there's lava, like, kids play that lava game. It's kind of like that. Like they don't like doing it. There are buckets to be scored, and teams and players don't know how to take that shot anymore. They don't have a pull-up game. They don't have a spot-up game. They don't have a come off a cut, plant, pull-up, shoot. It's just not there. It's so different.
A lost art.
It's so different.
It's the Steph Curry effect.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has changed basketball.
Oh, yeah. 100% he has.
Not many people can say they changed sports in general. Yep. Steph has.
Yep.
It's his 3 balls that have changed. You don't like Steph.
I don't like Steph, but he is a hell of a player.
I love Steph.
What don't you like about him?
I hate Golden State. I don't like that team. I don't like anything about them. They're like the villains in my eyes, and I'm glad, the Raptors took it. And I think that's maybe the hate there. But he is so amazing to watch. Like, I love 3-pointers. That's my favorite shot. I'm sure for everybody, right? It's just a sexy shot. We all love it. Wemby did play the Wizards, by the way, so that also justifies the 50 points.
Well, you still got to make those shots.
But he only played 32 minutes. I mean, those are big numbers in 30 in
Still, it's 16 minutes, though. He's
so.
not getting another 50 points, UConn.
No, he's not
I got to get UConn here, and we're just going to talk about the 100-point game one night. Him and I, it's been years since we've gone after this. And anytime someone scores 60 or something, he sends it to me. And I keep going, like, that's still how many away from 100, Uke?
Just not happening.
They will have to add a 4-point line.
I mean, it's
That's
2 points.
the way
I mean, it's a bucket a minute. It's more than that. I mean, and again, it's whatever. There's no way. It's just not happening.
Prez said that there's a rumor apparently that Vegas and Seattle might be the expansion teams, and T-Wolves would get moved to the Eastern Conference.
Oh, yeah, that's the issue in the NBA is because they keep adding teams. They move so many teams to the East that they kept having to leave them in the Western Conference. So something like that would have to happen.
Interesting.
I'm not sure Minnesota would love that. Well,
No.
they're kind of right.
Depends. It depends how they do the divisions. Like,
fan base. Well, I'm just thinking more like the
alignment.
Yeah, the alignment. Although I guess their travel would still probably be easier if they're heading out east because you've got teams that are a little more concentrated out there. But
well, so do you go like because they do 3 divisions of 5 right now. The NHL is 2 divisions of 8.
Yeah.
Do you go 2 divisions of 8 there, or how do you realign all of that would be the big thing. Right now, their division is Denver, OKC, Portland, Utah. So there's quite a bit of travel there.
There's a good amount of travel there.
If they go, I would assume they'd be in the Central if they stick with the alignment, and you're Cleveland, Indiana, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee. I think Minnesota would love that a lot more.
You're right. That division-wise, you're right. If you're playing them mostly, that's good travel.
That was right now, the Eastern Conference is still trash. Oh, it got a little better. Only 3 teams above 500.
Yeah.
4th place in the Eastern Conference, Knicks 5-6.
And my Bucks they've won 2 in a row now, but
4 and 8
are a bit of a mess.
A Bucks fan, eh? Interesting.
Since
5
the
and-
80s.
Really?
Oh yeah, don't ask me why. It made no sense. They
Good
were
for
awful
you.
for 30
Some
years, and
random
then
team.
finally they got good. So again, it's like I'm a Patriots fan too. I always have to explain to people that no, I've been a fan of these teams
Since Zolock.
since they were awful.
Okay.
So,
Respect.
but yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
I don't know how I
Was
became
it
a Bucks
Zolock?
fan. It's ridiculous.
That wasn't Zolock. Who's their quarterback when we played Tecmo Super Bowl?
Who, the Patriots?
Yeah. There was a quarterback that was just trash.
Tony Eason, Steve Grogan,
I have to go low. It was 93.
Flutie was there for a bit.
In the game, like the Patriots were like the worst team. I think them, the Colts, and the Jets a little bit. They were awful.
Yeah.
I don't think there was a single good player Patriots to play with. Every other team I could find at least
bad.
one player to play with that I liked. Oh, the Patriots were not good. 5-6 in the East puts you 4th. 5-6 in the West puts you into 12th spot.
Yeah.
That's the difference. My Lakers are 7-4, by the way.
Well, Cleveland's
Jasmine.
running the table right now, so
1-3 straight, my Lakers.
Sure, Maddie.
What do you mean sure? It's what the truth is. It's what it says, 7-4. Cleveland's still perfect, though, at 13-0.
which is crazy.
Them and the Jets. Like, what a season for the New York Jets to start.
The New York Jets or the
Winnipeg Jets, sorry.
Yeah, both actually in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was just going to say,
15-1 through
Winnipeg's
16
numbers are-
games. Like, at worst, through 20 games, a quarter mark of the season, in a sense. They'll be at 75% winning. At worst.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Ridiculous.
my OKC's 10-2, by the way. Give me your Lakers. Although Lakers
Shea will
beat-
shoot the mid range.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. That's when
Bandwagon fan.
I'm not a bandwagon fan.
Just started liking them since
That
Shea.
is, you are spreading lies, and I'm going to hack your other accounts if you keep that up.
were you a Sonics fan then?
No, you know what? I knew about them back then. Like, I wasn't too involved into basketball. I'm an OKC fan because my dog is from Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Passed away, R.I.P. Kobe. 16 years old when I got him back then. That's when I was a fan.
That actually probably makes more sense than me being a Bucks fan as of the mid '80s. So
Great. Bring my dog story into this. You want a piece? Sorry. We're
in the
done.
middle here, I gotta be
I know,
careful.
it's in the
We're
middle.
gonna come back down. Hey, can you come on the hangout? Is Jasmine there?
Hey, do a lot of people say that?
Well, no, he doesn't want to like be in the middle of something like this. Because obviously I'll be here.
Put up with me.
Yeah, OKC, they're doing fine.
doing
We'll see if they
great.
can win in the playoffs.
Yeah. They played the Lakers, right? Just a couple of days ago.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Lakers beat Memphis yesterday.
That's crazy. I want to see Ja play some more. I want to see some more of those Memphis games. I wonder if they'll be really good this year.
Well, again, basketball is such. I mean, if Morant can, I mean, he's there. He's not dealing with 50 million other issues. I mean, he's an incredible talent, and that's the thing in basketball. I mean, it's and I'm not saying they're a one man team, but I mean, it doesn't. You need that guy. That makes a big difference.
Lakers and Thunder have not played.
They've not played. Okay. Well, when they play,
Then it's on.
are you going to watch the Tyson fight?
The 29th.
Okay. You're going down. We'll put a bet on that one. We'll put a bet.
It's NBA Cup action
Oh, yeah. Nice courts.
Nice part. Yeah. There you go.
in LA.
In LA, that's been a great game.
Friday night.
Friday night.
This Friday, that was Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. You guys intrigued?
Very much.
I didn't even know what was happening until like a week ago, and I was like, I see this. Adam, what is going on here?
Did you not know about it at all?
No,
Or
I
did
didn't
you
know.
not? Like, you didn't know about that? Like, it was
I had
because
no
this is
idea.
supposed to happen in the summer.
No, I had
So you
no.
didn't know
Seriously,
this?
I had no idea.
I was shocked.
I'm jealous.
Like thrown in our face.
I had no clue. Like, yeah.
You basically have to care. You're not allowed not to care. If you don't care, you're lying.
Well, you become, I don't know, after the Tyson Edmonton thing years ago, he sort of become a bit
little
jaded
touchy.
around Mike Tyson and everything going on. But no, I honestly, legit, I had no clue.
Are
that
you
it was
interested?
happening. Not really.
Really? You're not going to be watching on Netflix live?
No, I'm not.
I don't
I'm
know if
not
I will be.
I
I'm going out with
With who?
don't think I will.
buddy.
be.
With a buddy.
Yeah. Him and I are doing suit and steak night.
Oh, that's
We did
awesome.
this years ago. We dressed up in suits and went for steaks.
I
Where'd you
heard
go?
this. Like,
We went to Joey's. It was right by for the Whale and Wolf. Went to Joey's. Then we went to JW Marriott for the lobby bar. And then we ended up at Mercer's.
Oh, nice.
what a great time.
Yeah. So he asked and he's like, "You want to do that?" I was like, "We haven't done that in years." Sure.
Are you gonna wear a
So
suit?
yeah, well, it's suit and steaks.
I am
So
impressed.
unless one of the places that we go to has the fight on, I'll actually have to miss it.
I hope you watch it. It's gonna be good.
Is it?
No, it's gonna be. Yeah, I think.
Like-
What?
No, it's I love spectacles though. I love this is a spectacle. I should hate myself for wanting to watch this.
There's gonna be,
and I do
like-
hate myself for wanting to watch this.
There's gonna be a lot of production in there. It's gonna be like
yeah.
celebrities.
Oh,
There's gonna
of
be
course.
comedians. It's
Where
gonna
is
be
it?
it's gonna be
It's
good.
in Vegas?
Yeah, I believe so.
No, I thought
right?
AT&T Stadium. I thought Cowboys
It's in
Stadium.
Dallas.
Oh,
Or
I
is it
thought. Am I
Whoa.
wrong?
No, you might be right.
in Arlington.
I think because I
No,
so
I again, like I'm clearly
So
completely
this-
out of it. I have no.
this was supposed to happen in Arlington. This was supposed to happen in July.
Okay.
And then Mike Tyson had some medical issue on a plane.
Yeah.
And it got canceled. And I made a bet with a buddy going, this is never going to happen now. So I kind of hope it doesn't happen so I can win my
Mike
bet.
Tyson,
No,
Razor
it's gonna
Ruddock. It's
happen.
like
It's
this
happening.
sounds just like the same thing.
But it's going to, but now we're days away. And Tyson was in the ring. And to me, he didn't look bad. I know Zach was on Twitter or something saying that he looked a little uncoordinated and a little slow. But yeah, I'm not, if
Jake
he goes
Paul's
up,
gonna win.
No, he's not.
He's younger. He's gonna win. I'm sorry.
He's not a
Mike
boxer.
I want Mike Tyson to win.
he's fought one boxer in his career and he lost.
Yes, I know that, but Mike Tyson's old.
Doesn't matter. He's
Tyson's a maniac.
But yeah, I
and
guess
he's
he's
still
a maniac.
and there's a technique to boxing still that Mike Tyson's gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
I if Mike Tyson was going up against Canelo would destroy Mike Tyson.
Like, what are they doing? What is it? 12 rounds? They're doing this.
12 rounds, a little bit of thicker
Okay,
glove.
there's the issue. Is if this thing
Bigger
goes
gloves.
longer,
Mm-hmm.
then Tyson's in trouble because he'll just run out of gas.
He'll
And if
run
it's
out
a
of
short
gas.
fight. I mean, I don't even know anything about.
Is it
Jake
12
Paul,
rounds or
but-
is it 10? It's
Well,
12
either-
rounds.
either
Or no,
way.
no,
Isn't
it will be
shorter
8
rounds?
2-minute rounds.
Yeah, there you go.
8 rounds. Okay,
Yeah.
so but even
14
still,
ounce gloves, so it's
Yeah.
going to be shorter. If this goes the distance, Jake Paul's winning because I think it's going to be rigged.
Okay, I hate this. I hate
It
it when
is.
you just have to like bastardize something immediately by saying it's rigged. How
I'm
is
not
it? You
s-
haven't even watched it. Go off accusing that it's rigged. No, it's not
Because
rigged.
there's no way that Jake Paul should beat Mike Tyson.
It didn't even happen
and
yet.
I will go. I saw. Did you watch Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather fight?
Not that I recall.
I did. It was rigged. It ended in a draw. You cannot tell me one that Logan Paul was the only fighter ever to go up against Floyd Mayweather and not lose. There's no chance.
Okay.
And number two, Floyd Mayweather wasn't trying. This is a payday for Jake Paul. He's already calling out Canelo. it is so many other people are with me on this one that it is Jake Paul is using this to get money and grow this, and Tyson's getting money out of this. So, but he
doesn't have to be rigged to get money.
100% it does, because if he loses, he can't take on Canelo, and he's already calling out Canelo.
It's called business, baby. Like
this is why it's always.
He's a freaking YouTuber. Like, obviously, it's slimy. Everything is gonna be money.
So then, why wouldn't it be rigged? Why would this be a legit fight?
Do you think Tyson would want a rigged match?
Yes, because he's getting money out of this.
I think Tyson has pride.
I will agree with that. I don't think Tyson's going in there to.
He ain't no YouTuber,
needs money.
baby.
Sure, he does.
Yeah.
Of course, he does. But he needs money, and he'll try to win.
He's getting money. He's getting
money.
paid.
He's getting money no matter what.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares that if he loses in decision, whatever. He's 58.
This is ridiculous.
If it goes to decision, he's losing.
He's losing 100%, which is why it's rigged. Like
not
right off the
rigged.
bat,
No,
if we know
Mike
that
Tyson is not
if we know
going
it
to a
could go
rigged match.
to,
He could not, but Tyson's.
I'll go with this a little naive on that one. That you don't think that type of thing can happen.
Oh, that can.
All right, suits and steaks. Sorry.
It could rig. I mean, having it be rigged could happen. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I have no idea about it. Tyson still. I mean, I've seen him box in the last couple of years. He's still like the guy's still strong. Like
Somebody said George. Because I'd have to go to George Foreman won a title still at 46.
He's like 40. Yeah, exactly. But that, I mean, boxing kind of fell off a bit of a cliff. I mean, it was when I was a kid, boxing was a big deal. I mean, you still had Muhammad Ali around. Tyson kind of came in, and I mean,
who's Jake Paul then?
Well, yeah.
Like again, his fighting career is one boxer he's gone up against, and he lost.
You're totally right, and that's what I mean. That's
and
why
now you're
Tyson
going up against Mike Tyson, and I stand by. If Mike Tyson can land a punch, you think Jake Paul can handle a Mike Tyson punch?
That's my point. I agree. I think that'll be tough.
And if Jake Paul lands a punch on Tyson, you think that's going to affect Mike Tyson?
But there's the technique thing. Like Tyson will still know how to protect himself. You know, that's.
And Jake Paul doesn't. And that's where I just there's no way he could win this fight unless there are some added factors to this. Pat Gregoire agrees with me on the lock shop. A bunch of people agree. That's why I would stay away from the betting line because I just don't trust it.
This is a good point. Just Father Time stays undefeated.
Yeah,
sure. I agree with that. But but that doesn't mean that one punch or two punches in the first round can't land and hurt.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys been punched really hard?
No, not in a long time.
You just wait.
Father Time's undefeated.
Right. I'm like
Father Time's undefeated. I agree with that, but this isn't again. If he's going up against whoever the heavyweight title is champ right now, if he goes up against Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson's going to lose that fight, no problem. Yeah. He's not going up against that guy. He's going up against the guy that in his career has gone up against one true boxer. That doesn't make you work. Like there is a thing of progression and earning your way to the top, and he hasn't done that. So I'll take Wayne Gretzky over, some rec hockey player still. Jason Strudwick could go on the ice and school local beer league people.
Yeah,
there is, and now Jake Paul's better than that. I will give him some credit for that, but it's not like he has been this proven boxer. And then if he was, I would sit there and go, Father Time's undefeated. We're talking about a true boxer here in Mike Tyson going up against the guy that's still relatively new to boxing.
And Tyson's, after I found out about this, I did see he looks like he's in pretty good shape. Again, he's older for sure.
He's always been in good shape.
He's in pretty good shape. So, yeah.
Well, just funny how Matty has such an opinion, yet he's not going to watch the fight.
Because it's rigged. And it's a full spectacle.
And there's stakes to be had, more importantly.
And there's stakes to be had. Big Maple. I have zero issue with people talking about the corruption of boxing, but saying he's in a professional boxer is ludicrous. I don't think anyone's saying that he is. I didn't say he's not a professional boxer. He's got one career fight against a true boxer that he lost. And then every other fight was against an MMA guy in a boxing ring. And it's different. Yeah. And now you're going up against Mike Tyson, who's been trained his entire life to be a boxer. And there are still going to be that riding a bike mentality where he's going to have those instincts that Jake Paul hasn't developed yet.
Mm-hmm. Are there preliminary fights before or anything? Do you know?
Is there? I don't know.
I don't.
I bet you there's got to be, right?
Well, there would have to be.
Normally there would be, but again,
it's a Netflix fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. They may not. And if it is a bit of a spectacle, then having a serious undercard may not really matter that much.
But you also wanted people to come out. You're going to want to watch. You're going to want people sitting there.
If this thing lasts 2.5 minutes and Tyson does knock him out, then
even if it goes the distance, 8x2 is only 16 minutes. You take your breaks in between. Like the fight would only be like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, or
there
something
has
like
to
that.
be something more to this.
Yeah, there is a prelim card because it says the preliminary card begins on MVP's YouTube at 3:30 our time. The main card begins at 6 o'clock our time. They're expected to make their walk to the ring at about 9 o'clock our time.
The two best women in boxing are fighting each other for the title.
Okay.
That's cool. I love when girls fight because it's rowdy.
good. But hey, like good boxing can be a lot of fun to watch. Like it can. Be
I love
great
watching
to watch.
boxing.
Yeah.
I actually wish I was born in like the 70s and 80s to a degree to have watched boxing at its height.
Yeah, like I didn't watch a ton of it, but it was like, yeah, I mean, you certainly, you're much more aware as a sports fan, I think, then of what was happening in the boxing world than you are now. And again, like, I mean, legit, it was going to be Razor Ruddock, Mike Tyson here in Edmonton in 1989, and it fell apart. But yeah, I mean, boxing was a big deal. It, again, kind of dropped off. Then you had the Holyfield Tyson nonsense, and then it just became ridiculous. But yeah, 60s and 70s, you know, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, it was, and yeah, that's before my time, but it was a big deal.
It's just a shame, like, there's no more, like, pay-per-view boxing matches. It used to be so common when I was growing up. Yeah. And now it's just UFC. And UFC is a little bit too barbaric for my liking.
I cannot do UFC.
Yeah. Like, I'll stay up to date with the news, whatever, you know, with the.
I can't even watch it.
Yeah, it's just
I respect them as athletes, but I can't not watch it. Way too violent for me personally,
is really
but
violent.
that's just me. I cannot watch
exactly.
it.
And whereas like boxing, there was just something where
boxing's violent too, but you're right.
There's something much better.
Yeah.
You get it. So I just missed that, the pay-per-view boxing matches.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they still happen, but again, you never hear about them. At least I don't. Maybe I'm just not paying attention.
No,
clearly I'm not, because I had no idea this was even happening. So
Tyson and Usyk, or not? Tyson Fury, not Mike Tyson. I think they're supposed to have a fight again coming up, a rematch. Like so they're like, we had the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury trilogy for the heavyweight bout, which the first one had one of the greatest sports moments I've ever seen in my life, where Tyson Fury got knocked out. It was one of those classics. It's over. Wilder celebrating, and he got up for the 10 count, and it was just stunning how he got up. Like it was, I'll never forget. It was in December. There was an Oiler game going on. I didn't go because I wanted to watch the fight, and him getting up, and then there was 2 more fights after that, because I think that first one was a draw, and then Tyson Fury won the next 2, and then there's Anthony Joshua who's come up a little bit, but then he fell off, and then there was the Tyson Usyk. So you get maybe 1 or 2 big fights, maybe a year or something, but I think Pat Gregoire had it like this boxing fight that's coming up this weekend is going to be the most bet boxing fight all year.
Sure.
Which is one, like, that's the spectacle of Jake Paul, who's a big name.
Yeah.
Like, he's done a great job of marketing himself.
Tyson himself is a big name.
But then you've got Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But it's also where boxing is right now, where there's nothing else.
Yeah, right.
Big Maple said there are boxing events all the time. My bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't pay attention.
I think there are. I mean,
I believe you. There's this really funny one. If Jake Paul wins, Maddie gets a tattoo. Gets the Tyson tattoo.
No, because
the face tattoo?
Yeah.
No, because it's rigged. I'm standing by that. It's a rigged fight.
Would the face tattoo sell more crypto for you?
That's a good question. I'll have to ask my coach. I'll have to I forgot what his name was, and I'll have to ask him and figure out. Can I earn, instead of 100,000 in 7 days, can I earn it in 5 days with the tattoo? Or can I make it 200,000 in 7 days? Yeah. What can I do with 100,000 over the next week? Am I going to be on EST as of next week?
You watch the fight.
Or go to the Grey Cup.
Go to the Grey Cup.
Get a hotel.
That's right.
I could actually afford it.
That's right. Exactly.
Got to get to Aki still. Road Warriors brought to you by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers, custom manufacturing of heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas, equipment, highway transportation. Trusted by the leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large load. AccuSteel.ca. As we've mentioned already, Predators in town to take on the Oilers. Elsewhere in the National Hockey League, the Jets are in Tampa to take on the Lightning as they look to improve to 16-1 on the season. That part of a busy slate in the NHL. And then Thursday nighter, we've got the Commanders on the road against the Eagles. I believe it is. Yeah, the Eagles are home.
That's
so
gonna
the
be a good
Commanders
game.
are on the road.
Yeah. Plus
You can join
-3.5.
Lieutenant Eric at
-4
Century
Eagles.
Casino for the game. Smoked brisket cheesesteak on special at Century. So that's Road Warriors brought to you by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers. Is there any college football tonight?
There's
must be.
basketball. Football. Yeah, there is.
What do we have in college football?
East Carolina and Tulsa.
We got the Pirates. Pirates are in action, taking on Tulsa. What kind of conference? I think this is Conference USA.
-14.5 for East Carolina, right?
Oh, American Athletic Conference. How can I mix those up? I'm just such a fool. The Pirates, I love. Yesterday, what was on? It was Miami, Ohio. And who are they playing yesterday? I just love watching those type of games.
Gizmo's alma mater. East Carolina.
Oh, is it?
I believe so, yeah.
Kent State, Miami, Ohio was on. Ohio and Eastern Michigan was on TSN yesterday, and I was enjoying watching some.
No.
I was briefly a student at Ohio University. So
Were you?
Yeah.
Bobcat.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Nobody
Didn't
would
see a
be,
football game, but
nobody would be hacking Maddie's accounts if he had a face tat.
that's true.
Lingus
That's a good
99.
point.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's what you say.
They'd be buying you steaks. They'd be right. You don't have to do anything.
I don't have to do anything right now. I'm worth $100,000.
That's also
It's like,
true.
look at me go. To Duck Dad saying Nations Cups. Are you talking about CONCACAF Nations League? Oh, no, that's not Duck Dad. That was Chris G in the nasty chat. Canada plays, I think, tomorrow in CONCACAF.
Suriname? Is that
Suriname.
Yeah.
Home and away. Yeah, that's tomorrow, 4:30. Oh, so tomorrow's going to be a busy day. You got Canada, Suriname.
Davies is not playing, correct?
He didn't come. Yeah, taking a little bit of a rest. We don't. They should be good enough to beat Suriname. So we'll see. Jesse Marsh taking over or continuing his reign with Canada Soccer, and Beth Priestman though as manager of the women's side, which that finally came out this
now
week.
They'll go after Herdman is the plan. It sounds like. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do, but that's what they. I think the link goes back to him. I think that's become
he's part
fairly
of it.
Clear through all of this.
I guess there was part of the report was like St. Martin's or like some small country in the Caribbeans. We cheated against or we filmed against, and like, really, dude. So that's up to MLSE though. Like it's gonna be do they want to get rid of him? But we'll see. He was a big name for them to bring him in. Does MLSE care?
Yeah, because I don't know what recourse Canada Soccer has. I mean, at this point, I'm guessing not much. If it is, I know the report was really heavily redacted, so it was difficult to necessarily assign names. But you can, from what I gathered, you can certainly start to piece together where this came from.
I still can't believe that you're like so mad that I think that this is going to be a rigged fight.
Because you're ruining it. You're ruining I am looking forward to tomorrow. And, I think people are going to be having watch parties. It's an event, an excuse to get together.
You think there's going to be watch parties?
I hope so.
I don't think so.
I just don't think boxing is visible enough anymore that people.
I think the last time there was watch
but I could be
parties, McGregor Mayweather,
Yeah, maybe.
which also was a spectacle. And I also was told by so many people that McGregor is going to destroy Mayweather because Mayweather's old. And what happened in that fight? Mayweather knocked him out, and Mayweather doesn't knock out fighters. So I don't care about the father time thing here. If you're going up against a fully trained boxer, Jake Paul is still a professional boxer, but not trained enough to go up against Mike Tyson.
And Tyson's one of the best of all time. I mean, let's be honest here too. He's not fighting some guy that didn't get it done when he was younger.
I would put a bet on this with you if you wanted.
Ooh, I like this. Okay,
What's the bet?
I don't know. Tell me.
$100,000.
That's easy for me because I can make that back. No
Some financial advice. Thank you.
No, like actually, like the reason I don't want to make a bet is I just don't trust that Jake Paul. Like I was talking with Trev yesterday. Even if he goes out wins, I don't see how he knocks out Mike Tyson. And also, if it goes all the way, it's going to be rigged for Jake Paul. It's going to be like Has anyone seen the full agreement? Show me I want the full agreement posted out there so I could see what's all involved with this.
But and I'm not a betting expert by any stretch, but I would think that, I mean, whether it's rigged or not, I would think this is a pretty tough thing to put a line on, is it not? Because it's two athletes kind of from, yes, I mean, boxers, but again, as you've discussed, different experience in boxing. It is a bit of a spectacle. I mean, I don't know, like it would...
Paul is the favorite at minus 189. Tyson's plus 175. Draw is plus 900. If you go into how they win to, Jake Paul by KO, TKO, or disqualification is the worst odds at plus 140, which makes no sense to me.
No?
Yeah.
Well, that's the worst. It's plus 140. Then the odds get better as you go on. So they say the most likely option is Jake Paul's going to TKO or knock or knock out Mike Tyson.
That's not going to happen.
And that's where the Mike Tyson may be old, but Jake Paul is not knocking out Mike Tyson.
No.
Mike Tyson's dealt with punches before.
Tyson's not 90. Like he's
he's in great shape.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I just
No,
said
not
you know what I mean.
not
Like
you saying
I'm
that,
sure
but
people are
just
going to come
in-
at me with this, but
not you saying that, but just in general. Yeah, like I mean, if the line is it's going to be in favor of Paul because I don't. Yeah, I just think boxing is just a different. It's just a different world. Not that I've done it, but you watch it and you can just tell. And there's so much technique to it that I think if you haven't trained the way Tyson has for basically his whole life,
Yes.
yeah, you don't lose that. You're slower, yes, but doesn't mean you punch less hard.
Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. Go watch that, and go tell me that wasn't rigged.
I'm going to talk to you about it tomorrow. Because I'm on the Hangout tomorrow.
Find out if that was rigged, and you could sit there and be like, why would Floyd Mayweather agree to do that? He's got the blemish on his record now that he's got a draw in his career.
I'm looking forward to the fight. I don't care.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
I'm
That's
excited.
it.
Well, you can still enjoy it.
Yeah, because I'm allowed to have fun. Fun.
I would want to watch it too. I'm not the only person that thinks that. So many other people think that. Like that I think is actually the common theme around this is most people think that this is going to be rigged.
Like I said, I think you are the only person that said it, and I just think it's just ridiculous.
Pat said it on the Lock Shop yesterday. Thanks for listening.
It's on. I'm listening.
No, I
didn't want to believe it.
Go around this office and ask how many people. I bet there's like at least 2 other people in here that think the same thing.
Before you wrap up the show, I just wanted to say a quick shout out to one of my best friends, Sabine, had her second baby yesterday. So congratulations to my nephew.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
a round of cooks. And the GDL post-game show is a riot. I try to, get in there and listen to the guys talk in the nasty chat. Man, it is so funny, and I think it's going to be wild again today. So
GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, 6 o'clock, postgame show as soon as the game ends with Tommy Hernan. We got the Lock Shop, myself and Huss coming up next. We've got 2 guys in a goalie, Reed with Gager and Cass. We've got EST Afternoons. We've got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, all coming up for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Doug, it's great having you back in. Good seeing you.
Good to see you both. Thanks for having me.
Doug.
Figure out what type of bet you want to do and give me back my Instagram account. On behalf of Jasmine and Doug, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Like I said, coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Don't go anywhere. We'll get that going in just a few minutes.
See you tomorrow.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanek, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.